The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be their first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. If you missed either his introductory presser or his appearance on the Jeremy and Joe show yesterday, you can find all of the audio on demand at WGR550.com. Puck drop is set for 7:30 tonight, and you'll be able to catch all of the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford, dealing with a toe injury, was limited. Terrell Bernard, with an elbow injury, was limited as well. Mecole Hardman Jr., dealing with that calf injury, had his 21-day practice window open and was limited. Dalton Kincaid with a knee injury, Deion Dawkins with an illness, Jordan Phillips dealing with an ankle injury, and Matt Prater with a right quad injury all did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams are in Seattle tonight for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. In other news, Dolphins released edge rusher Matthew Judon. USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon has declared for the 2026 NFL Draft. Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams, dealing with a hamstring injury, is doubtful against the Seahawks. Joe Burrow said he, quote, can't see a scenario in which he leaves the Bengals in 2026, but he has thought about playing elsewhere in his career. Lamar Jackson, dealing with an illness, did not practice yesterday. Texans running back Nick Chubb, dealing with the rib injury, was limited in Wednesday's practice. And Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers. He will be the emergency third-string quarterback behind Zach Wilson. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Jeremy White and Sneaky Joe DiBiase.
I've got maybe a record where when they call the game a must-win, they don't win.
Like every time.
They lose my must-wins. So obviously I should not call this a must-win.
Yeah, this all seems logical.
That makes sense. However...
No. Wait.
Mute his mic. Quick.
However, they're hearing, hey, people say you can't win the must-win. Must win.
Then
Must
why?
win.
Then why?
Must win. It's got to go. Must win.
Right now it's the Flyers working in the Buffalo zone. Sabres get possession, turn it over at the line. Couturier behind the net, pinned there by Timmins. It's out front for Tippett with a shot. Rebound scores. First save was made, and then Tippett was just standing there, and he had another crack at it. And it's exactly what you said would be the worst thing to happen. It's 5-2 Flyers.
You're listening to Jeremy and Joe on the home of the Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550.
Now, wait a minute, Joe Kelly. Don't you put that evil on me. Did I say it for the Flyers specifically last time?
Yeah.
All right. Redemption time. It's everyone gets redeemed tonight. Me, the team, everyone's getting redeemed tonight. Hey, everybody, good morning. Jeremy and Joe. Joe's out today. Nate's in. What's up, Nate?
Morning.
We flew up the flag. There was Tua Tagovailoa news. And, Nate's just like, I'm ready. I'm in. We are streaming live. We've syndicated in Miami today.
Ooh.
Odyssey,
Miami's
just for you.
streaming.
Like,
Perfect.
that guy that's been yelling about Tua for a couple of years. He's
half a decade.
He's on.
Yeah.
Anyway, good morning. Jeremy and Joe, Nate's in. We'll talk with Sal today. We'll talk with Paul Hamilton today. We'll preview tonight's Sabres-Flyers game. We'll preview the weekend's Bills-Browns game. We'll have some fun along the way. We're like a week from Christmas. I don't know if that snuck up on anybody.
It did.
Yeah?
Absolutely it did, yes.
Well, I've been done for a while, which is strange for me.
I did some yesterday.
Yeah?
I'm not completely done, but I'm more than halfway there, which I feel okay about.
Nice.
I'm going to need another trip to the mall, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I have the unfortunate thing where I was done really early, and that gives me more time to just decide, like, I'm going to buy something else, too. And I don't need to do that, but I have done that.
You know what my problem is?
My wife's getting too much.
This is my problem, I'm going to tell you, is Black Friday.
Okay.
Right? Every year. I like to go out on Black Friday. Not like crazy earlier. I don't do anything crazy. I just like to go shop on Black Friday.
So you're not standing in line. You just like to make it a part of your day.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the problem about shopping on a day with deals. I immediately go from shopping for Christmas gifts to, that Nike hoodie's on sale?
Just say.
There's a Tiger
Golf.
Woods shoe on sale.
Okay, so you're buying for the upcoming golf season.
It sucks. I get sucked right in, and there's nothing I can do.
That'll happen.
I try, though. There is a real attempt to not make it about me when I'm going shopping for Christmas, but it just kind of goes right out the door when I see the first deal.
I wish there's a way, like exit polls with an election. Exit polls like, did you buy for yourself or someone else today?
Yeah.
Like, this Black Friday, 87% of sales were for themselves. That might be a reality.
Yeah.
But that's, so you might not be alone
the
there.
intent is there. Like, I want to go. The reason I'm out there is because I could get a better deal on something than I normally couldn't. And again, instead, it's just like, oh, wow, that would look
That's why they say it's the thought that counts.
It is.
Because as long as you're thinking of buying something for somebody else, that's like shopping for somebody else, even if you buy it for yourself. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. Good morning, everyone. All right. There's a lot. You know what there is going on today? There are a lot of NFL conversations about other things that need to be fixed, and none of the conversations are the Bills. Right? We've had weeks this year where we got to fix the Bills. What's wrong with them? Right now, they look fine. But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I've been... I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? In the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too. Detroit and Minnesota.
The Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're
on the road.
On the road, not just for one game, but you're going to be on the road the whole time. Whole time, which I guess it could fall away where you don't. What's the alternative? The alternative is just regular seeding, just best record. Do you still guarantee a playoff spot for?
I think division winners should guarantee a spot.
Sure.
Just not a home game.
I think that once you start to realize how silly the divisions are to begin with, you can get to, we shouldn't be given a home game for that.
Yeah.
Number 1.
6 games.
How do you win the division?
You win against 3 teams.
You don't even have to do that.
You just have to have a better record.
Yes.
You don't even have to have a better division record.
Right. It's not even actually a division title.
Right.
It's
not like college football where Duke at 7-5 has the best division or best conference record, goes to a conference championship. It doesn't happen in the NFL.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not even actually who won the division.
Yeah.
It's who finished with the highest record in the division. And then if you're tied, all right, what was your record against each other? And then if you're still tied, what was your record in the division?
And similar teams. Did you play the same teams?
Yeah. Your record in the division is 3rd.
Yeah. It's the 3rd most important thing.
Hang a banner that says champs
for
the 3rd most important thing of actually winning the division. You beat 3 teams. Where else can you hang a banner for beating 3 teams? Listen, everybody does it. The Chiefs have done it for 11 years in a row. The Bills, 5. We'll see if they get to 6. So, the whole thing for me is always just like the division is just this strange accepted format where we're talking about 8 of the 32 teams as champs, which has always to me been silly at best. So the Lions submitted that change last year. Is that who it was?
I believe so.
I believe it was the Lions. Okay.
They submit changes every year.
Yeah.
They're sick and tired of the system.
Because Sal was tweeting about this yesterday, and I saw that the conversation kind of got going. I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad this is back. Yeah. The Lions proposed to reseed teams based on record. Division winner still gets in, but all teams seeded strictly by record. This year, 3 teams in the AFC could have better records than the AFC North champs, and same with the NFC. The NFC South champ will have likely 3 teams better.
The NFC South could have 8 wins for a division winner, a losing record. It's happened before. Well, 8-8's happened before.
Yeah.
But
you also have it where, in this case, usually that team only gets 1 game. Right? Pittsburgh's going to have their 1 game, and then what's going to happen? Then they're going to go on the road. But they have a higher seed than so many other teams. If there are upsets along the way, Pittsburgh then goes to Denver, I guess, no, Pittsburgh would not go to Denver. The low seed would go to Denver. Pittsburgh could host 2 playoff games. They're 8-6. They could be hosting the Bills in the first round and like Jacksonville in the second round, or the Chargers in the second round. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to change. I think it makes total sense to make a change. You could still guarantee a playoff spot. You could still have so much more available in terms of like tiebreakers, and the standings might be more interesting, and you wouldn't be locking teams in. That's the other thing. Maybe we won't get there this year, but the last couple of years you've had a game where it doesn't matter in Week 18 because we already know who's locked in where. And if this thing were completely fluid, then it's true of Pittsburgh and Baltimore or the NFC South champ that you still have to play for the 6 to the 7 to the 5 to maybe you do win enough games to get up to earn a home game. But the top 4 teams are going to be the teams that earn home games. So I bet it's proposed again. I bet it is shot down again.
Yeah, it'll definitely be
I don't know that it's going to gain traction. Like the tush push was 2 votes away?
Yeah, and that's definitely getting that.
Yeah, I think
that's
going.
over.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's over.
So I don't think there's a lot of support for this. I know that it's been suggested. I'm on board. I think it's the right thing to do. But, there we are. So anyway, if you have a thought on that, 803-0550. That's one part of it. One part of the NFL chatter. The other is, that's going on today, Joe Burrow, which is its own monster. But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you? We are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Like, let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk. Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating, because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by franchise tagging him. He got tagged twice, correct? He definitely got tagged once,
I think he
for
got
sure.
tagged once.
And they ended up paying a way above market value by waiting another 18 months. But Dallas does that with everybody. So they're just, but to me, I look back and I say, in the moment, everyone is like, what is Washington doing? Like, clearly, this is the best quarterback you're going to have. You drafted him. You sign him. And I think that there is just such a... It's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married.
Right.
Like, okay, but like, do we want to get married? Well, it doesn't really matter. We have to get married. That is the next step. The house, the picket fence, we got to get married.
Possibly.
And I think that's kind of like where Miami got to is, I think, more unique than, let's say, where Arizona got. Or there's going to be more examples of this. But like, Miami built an offense that really only worked with Tua running it. And they had a head coach that was brought in and kept for the quarterback. Miami put themselves in an impossible position, but they also could have. How many people in the media at the time that extension was made would have applauded the Miami Dolphins for deciding not to do it and trading him?
To who? Because this is
for what?
This is half this point.
And for
you
what?
shouldn't sign that guy. You should trade him. Wait, is the other team smart too?
And also, if you're not signing a player and you're trading them, you're not giving up all of your leverage, but you are giving up some leverage in a trade.
Well, I want to get back to, you mentioned Cousins.
Yeah.
Because I love this conversation. It is so easy to say, you shouldn't do that. The Commanders, they figured this out with Cousins. Do you know their quarterbacks for the next 6 years?
It was bad.
Alex Smith, Case Keenum, Alex Smith again, Taylor Heineke twice, Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Then Jaden Daniels.
Right.
I guess they figured it out, right? Like, they realized. And what did Kirk Cousins do? Went to Minnesota and won games.
Yes.
Did he win Super Bowls?
No.
No. But he won games.
Yes.
Like, which organization had the better next 4 or 5 years? Definitely Minnesota.
100% Minnesota.
So, hang the banner Washington because you didn't pay Kirk Cousins because he's not good enough to pay like that. Then Atlanta gave him $180 million guaranteed. That's kind of funny.
It's good.
But, like, where does the cutoff start? These quarterbacks you're not supposed to pay. Derek Carr.
Yeah, you don't.
All right, that one I'll get.
You don't pay him twice.
Exactly. Like, Derek Carr had a long career with the Raiders, and then the Saints are like, let's give this guy a ton of money.
Yeah.
And the Saints kind of don't count because they are the only team that's actually really legitimately.
There are 31 teams we could talk about.
Right, that's right. The Saints are legitimately in cap jail all the time to a point that it scares other teams about cap jail, but no one ever gets there like the Saints.
Did you happen to see the Miami Dolphins, like what their book looks like? Just their book.
Looks kind of bad.
They are projected right now to be $8 million over the cap, with Tua at $56 million guaranteed next year, Tyreek Hill at $52, Bradley Chubb at $31, Jalen Ramsey $21, who's not playing for them, Minkah Fitzpatrick at $19, and Austin Jackson at $16. That is the fact that general manager lasted as long as he did. That is one of the worst salary cap situations I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad.
It's really bad.
A lot of bad contracts.
But everything else, the Tua contract at $56 million guaranteed. Andrew Brandt, who, I think was maybe GM or worked in the front office in Green Bay, capologist kind of guy. He was talking about how, like, the Dolphins in this case didn't really gain much by benching Tua this year. He's going to be there next year.
Yes, he's going to be there next year. One more year, and then they could probably cut him for like a Russell Wilson-style hit.
Then again, I thought there was no way the Bills could get rid of Stephon Diggs, and they did. So I guess they could figure out a way or trade him and find somebody that'll take that money on.
Well, I mean, Diggs' dead cap was 26.
Yeah, a little bit different. 99.
Tua's 99.
It's a little different. Yeah, it's a little different.
It's tough.
But, yeah, listen, and the fact of hearing about the Dolphins, too, potentially bringing back Mike McDaniel in all of this,
Sure.
What a franchise. Just never change, Dolphins. Just never change.
Well, the quarterback conversation, like, I just want to ask, what should they have done? What should any team like this do? What are you supposed to do? Should the league do what it did with running backs? Running back, what happened? The top guys started getting paid, and nobody else got paid. If you were a middle running back, you're not making 20. Christian McCaffrey gets 20. Barkley gets 20. What's James Cook get? 11?
Yep.
Because we think you're good. You're not that good. Turns out maybe he is.
He is actually
that good. But running backs, the entire league conversation turned on running backs like, oh, I think the running backs should probably unionize.
Yeah.
Literally,
that was the conversation.
The running backs are getting squeezed out. because GMs have decided they're not worth this money. I can replace this. Is anyone ready for that to happen at quarterback? Are you ready to for that to happen to? Sure. Again, I'm not saying like cry for them. Kyler Murray. What about the Niners? Brock Purdy. Should he get paid? I've got a guy that runs my offense, and my offense is awesome. Can I pay him, or am I not supposed to? Do I have to get in line with the NFL that's decided unless you have Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Lamar, you shouldn't pay that guy? Like, what is this? What do they make? Backup money? It's really easy for anyone to say you just shouldn't pay these quarterbacks. Okay. What's the league look like?
But also,
do they all just eventually accept $9 million?
So this is my point too. Like if you're Tua, right, and you're the Dolphins, and you decide, and somehow negotiation, you get Tua at a number that is probably more appropriate, $30 million. Okay. Still, really, it's a lot of money, but $30 million. Let's say that's the middle of the road. They are in the same situation, just $20 million in a season less.
Sure.
Like, they are still benching Tua, and they're still in the same situation. So does a team, does the difference of $25 million do anything for these teams?
It's how much the cap moves up almost every year.
Yeah.
Probably more than that by now.
And I think the quarterbacks have never been in a better position. Like, Kyler Murray, I think, is the better example of this than Tua, because I think everybody thought that Tua was bad. I think most people thought Tua was bad. Kyler Murray, I think, was probably good enough to get paid when he got paid. But then there was the whole Call of Duty clause. That was weird.
Didn't they? Here's the other thing about quarterbacks.
That was weird.
A lot of times you do it after 3 years, not after 4.
Right.
You want to do it sooner. You want to do it in an effort to save money.
Save money.
Because of the exploding market, where today your quarterback is $42 million. 1 year from today, that guy's $49. 2 years from today, that guy's going to be $58 million to sign. So you sign him after 3 years instead of running it all the way to the end. I just feel like with the quarterback conversation, there are a couple points where I wonder what people think how it should look. You also hear this point, which is an adjacent point, about how quarterback development is broken. Is it? How many great ones should there be? Shouldn't the number be like 25% are really good, 25% are kind of good, 25% are serviceable, and 25% stink? You shouldn't have 32 Josh Allens. It's not how it's supposed to look.
No, but there's like 28 quarterbacks being paid like Josh Allen. Not that many, but there's
sure
16. It's half the league.
It's the passage of time. Look at the receiver metrics. Look at receiver salaries. Who's the best? Jefferson, right?
Yep.
I guess sometimes it doesn't work like this. Like Myles Garrett got paid, and then all the other defensive ends are like, all right, I'm gonna come in like right under him.
Yep.
Quarterback's the only one. Receiver too, I guess, where it's I'm next, I'm the top.
Yep.
I'm going up top again and again. Anyway, I think it's a fun conversation. We'll get to more of it. We'll talk about Burrow's comments. Joe Burrow, that's going to be a really interesting offseason in Cincinnati. He answered a question honestly, and that, Nate, is bad sometimes. We'll have some fun with that one, though. Dan in Pittsburgh. Dan, good morning. You're on WGR.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So I think that's a pretty fascinating topic, what you guys are talking about like paying the quarterbacks and whatnot. Because, like, I really do think, like, teams get stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and they really gotta evaluate the guy to, if they think that's their guy, then they should pay him, and if not, I think they should walk. But the situations I wanted to hear your guys' opinion on are, Baker in Cleveland. I mean, clearly that didn't go good.
Right.
And then what Green Bay did with Love and how they drafted him, and obviously that pissed Rodgers off to the point where he left, but they found their next guy. So I just kind of wanted to hear about those two situations and what you guys think about that.
Thanks, Dan. They're both good examples, because in both cases, after 3 years, you'd say, like, you shouldn't pay that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baker goes out and turns out to be worth paying.
Yep.
And Jordan Love sat for a while, and by the time he was ready to get an extension, he had not played much.
No.
And they gave him big money.
He's the fourth highest paid quarterback in the league.
And he's great.
He is great.
So, like, what should they have done? Should they have said, you're not worth it? Or should they get that deal done as soon as possible? Like, sometimes you have to guess. Sometimes you have to get a little lucky. Like, where's the cutoff? Bo Nix. Should the Broncos pay Bo Nix?
They're gonna. They're probably going to.
If you think they shouldn't, which I think is defendable, they have a little bit of time here, what should they do? It's very easy to say you should not pay Bo Nix $60 million a year. Like, all right, what should we do? It's almost a little bit like, sorry, you play fantasy football? Yes, you all out there play fantasy football. You all play dynasty fantasy football? Yeah. If you're ever in a one-quarterback league, if you don't have one of 6 quarterbacks, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
And where do you get one of those 6? From a team that's like, I'm not trading that guy.
Right.
For what? To go to wander the desert?
Yep.
I'm not going to pay that guy. I'm not going to trade that guy. So if you are in this scenario, you're the Broncos. Like, all right, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pay Bo Nix. You know who I'd love to pay is Josh Allen. Oh, you can't have him. All right, well, I'll pay Justin Herbert. Oh, you can't have him. Here are the 7 guys I would pay. Great, they're all paid. Who do you want? All right, I'm not going to pay Bo Nix $60. Am I going to just, like, do I call Sam Darnold and see if he'll take $30? What do? I think it's easy to say you shouldn't do that. He's limited. But it's not even that these GMs are afraid. Like, this conversation always, to me, devolves to winning on, sorry to use this phrase, but, like, raising banners for having a good cap. And you don't raise banners for that.
Nope.
So it's fun. On the other stuff, like drafting Love and then sitting him for a couple years, like some teams have that luxury.
Most, 99.5% of them do not have that luxury.
Right. And some teams that have that luxury or have that timeline, like about sitting a guy, listen, the Ravens drafted Lamar and sat him for half of that season.
Yep.
The Bills draft Josh Allen and they want to sit him early, but they ultimately can't. I mean, he didn't win the competition, and then by the first half of the first game, he's their quarterback.
Well, it's funny, too, because, you mentioned Baker. Darnold's the same conversation here.
Yeah.
And the reclamation, I think what we're going to see more and more in the NFL are the reclamation projects. Like the guys that didn't get paid.
Where coaching maybe failed them.
Right.
Or the situation failed them.
And, like, in hindsight, I don't blame the Browns for what they tried to do. They just failed miserably.
Yep.
But most teams don't do what the Browns did, which was say, we have a good quarterback. We think we need a great quarterback.
You know the last team to really do that? There are 2. There are 2 teams I can think of, and maybe if there are more, you guys can let us know. Tweet it at us right in the chat. The Chiefs and the Rams. And the Bills to some degree.
Tyrod Taylor.
The Bills to a large degree were like, yeah, we made the playoffs with this guy, but like this is not our plan.
Mm-hmm.
What did the Chiefs do? They lost a playoff game where Pittsburgh only kicked field goals.
Yeah.
And they traded right. And they traded up. There's Alex Smith's not going to get it. We're going to trade up for Mahomes.
Yep.
And hope that works. And then the Rams. Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And it's not good enough.
Nope.
There are not many teams that are bold enough to say, when you're good, we need something better. And I think the Bills deserve some credit for this, too, because the Tyrod Taylor debate we had when Rex was here, he makes the playoffs, and the Bills are very much like in a very political way or a very PR. They're friendly about it. They were never. I don't think Tyrod was ever like shunned, but it's very clear the Bills were going to think like bigger and better is necessary, and they deserve credit for that because, of course, they hit.
They did.
803-0550, our phone number, 1-888-550-2550. Sometimes you think you got to do better, and you hit. We'll get to your phone calls, Bills and Browns. Big one tonight for the Sabres. We heard from Lindy Ruff yesterday, heard from some of the players as well on the Jarmo Kekalainen hire. You get Nate's thoughts on that as well. And yours, too. New era starts tonight, a new era. And I want permission to call it a must-win. I want people to join in. I want belief. I don't know if it's necessarily justified, but I want it anyway. Jeremy and Joe, Nate's in for Joe here on WGR. But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you? We are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Like, let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating, because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by franchise tagging him. He got tagged twice, correct? He definitely got tagged once,
I think he
for
got
sure.
tagged once.
And they ended up paying a way above market value by waiting another 18 months. But Dallas does that with everybody. So they're just, but to me, I look back and I say, in the moment, everyone is like, what is Washington doing? Like, clearly this is the best quarterback you're going to have. You drafted him, you sign him. And I think that there is just such a, it's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married.
But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I've been... I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, I want to say, like, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, all right, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? You know, in the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too. Detroit and Minnesota. I mean,
the Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're on the road.
On the
road. Not just for like one game, but like, oh, no, you're going to be on the road the whole time. The whole time. Which I guess it could fall away where you don't.
The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be the first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. If you missed either his introductory press conference or his appearance on the Jeremy and Joe show yesterday, you can find all of the audio on demand at WGR550.com. Puck drop is set for 7:30 tonight. You can catch all of the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, and Mecole Hardman Jr. dealing with a calf injury, who had his 21-day practice window open, were all limited. Dalton Kincaid dealing with a knee injury, Deion Dawkins with an illness, and Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, along with Matt Prater with a right quad injury, did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up for the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions earlier this season. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Yeah, I'm excited for him racing the standards. That's what we have to do. Yeah, we've lost games we should have won, and we've beaten the best teams in the league, and we know what can be a really good team. And it's what you say. It's about the standards every single day, and him coming in and racing that's huge for us.
Sabres captain Rasmus Dahlin on Jarmo Kekalainen coming in to raise the standard. On some level, like, sure, if the Sabres lost some games you feel like they should have won, maybe. They won a couple games maybe they should have lost, maybe. Sometimes I feel like hearing a team that's in last say, like, we feel like we should have won more, has a lot of the same energy, you'll appreciate this, as the scramble group walking off a team being like, you know, we were 12.
We should have been.
We could have been like 15.
Yeah.
We really could have been.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm eager to see if the Sabres play with any... Whatever, can they get like
juice?
Do they get a GM bump? Maybe. Tonight, the Sabres and the Flyers from KeyBank Center. And speculation on the coach, like Lindy's still here. So I don't know if Joe and I officially made the bet whether or not there'd be a new coach by tonight. But if we did, he lost that bet. There was not a new coach for tonight. So tonight, KeyBank Center, the Jarmo era begins. And it doesn't have to be swift in terms of other changes happening, but I'm just going to still kind of stick there. The idea that like some other changes have to come if this is truly a full autonomy kind of move where he walks in and gets to say what he wants, do what he wants. I feel like
you want to see his touch.
I want to feel like some other stuff is going to happen. And that's not just roster, that's staffing stuff.
Yeah, new general manager with the old general manager's entire team.
Yeah, the league is kind of speculating that Lindy will eventually do something else and somebody else will jump into that spot. It seems to be the general conversation. So, and lots of smoke around that, but nothing.
A lot of
yet.
names, interesting names being thrown around.
Yeah,
Torts is a really interesting name. I don't know if I like it, but I don't think I'd like it. But
I don't know. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. So that's tonight. Sabres and Flyers tonight. Bills and Browns on Sunday. Tua benched. Joe Burrow asked if he's ever thought about playing for another team, says you think about a lot of things.
Joe Burrow doing his best wide receiver
I'm
vibe.
going to defend that comment till the end of the earth. You think about a lot of things.
You do?
Yeah. You ever think about giving up golf?
No.
Okay. You ever think about playing in every country in the world?
Sure.
Will you?
No.
Right. You think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know? You ever think about breaking a club in half? Yeah.
Often.
Have you?
No.
All right. Yeah. Joe Burrow, you think a lot of things. You ever think about playing for another team? If I was an NFL quarterback, every time I walked in a stadium, I'd be like, I wonder what it's like to play
for this team.
Yeah. Like, honest answer.
Especially if you play for the Bengals, you probably think that.
that might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what it reflects is, like, I'm thinking back to when, who's the player? Someone's favorite, like Josh Allen's favorite team growing up was the Patriots. Because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But we're not that insecure about him wanting to go play for the Patriots. Jack Eichel was always going to go play for the Bruins, right?
He
didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't. And he signed a deal in Vegas, and he's not. So I think what Burrow's comment and reaction really reveals is more insecurity about Cincinnati than what he really said, which I guess he could say, "No, I want to retire here." But even when people say that, you don't believe them.
No.
Stephon Diggs said that.
He did.
Nobody believed him. So
I'm sure somebody believed him, but
he said it.
He did say it.
He said it. Anyway, 803-0550, the phone number, and 1-888-550-2550. Jeremiah in Newfane. Jeremiah, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I had a question on just fantasy, if you guys did a bunch of fantasy. I have
Why not?
Josh Allen and Matt Stafford. I'm in the playoffs, so every point counts.
Yep.
I know it's going to be a running game probably for the Browns, not sure. But then again, he always goes off anyways. But then again, with Matt Stafford, you have Devontae Adams out, so he'll only have one receiver that he's really – because he usually throws to two receivers mostly. That's how he kind of plays. So I was just kind of curious on which one you would probably think I could –
Yeah, Stafford or Allen. Stafford, in the earlier game this year against Seattle, they scored 21. He went 15 of 28 for 130 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. It's a really good defense.
Seattle's got a really good defense. This time they're on the road in Seattle, and it's a short week. I mean, I think you play Allen no matter what. Allen is a no matter what start. He's also 1 touchdown away from getting to 300 career, right? So whether he throws one or he runs one in, he's going to get one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And if they get close to the 5-yard line, he's going to get the call or call his own number. I think Allen is a no matter what start. I've got Allen in one league that I'm playing playoffs this week as well.
Same.
And my other 2 quarterbacks are Trevor Lawrence, who's all of a sudden the hottest quarterback in football.
Yeah.
And Purdy. And I'm not even thinking about it. You play Allen.
And you lose with Allen. You go to the last thing you want to do is swap Josh Allen out and lose.
Yeah.
If you're going to lose and you lose with Josh Allen, so be it.
There are some tough conversations around if you're in a fantasy playoff this week. Kyle Pitts obviously is a must start after getting you 50 points. What do you do with Drake London?
I think you play Drake. I have him in 2 leagues.
Drake
in
London,
the playoffs.
he returned to practice. Is he going to be on a limited snap count? He was out for 4 weeks, 5 weeks with a PCL sprain.
They seem like they care still, which is nice.
Yep.
I think Kirk Cousins cares.
And Cousins can definitely feed London. So, yeah, we'll take fantasy questions. It is playoff time. It's
a big week.
It's crunch time. So, Stafford or Allen, let's go Allen. That's going to be the pick.
I would agree with that.
Allen over almost everybody. If you had Allen and also, here's another quarterback that you'd like here in a spot and like their matchup this week. Lamar's out. You have to play Lamar if you don't have somebody better, but he's not done well.
Nope.
Yeah, play Allen. And if you lose, you lose. 803-0550. 10.5 seems like a small number for the Bills to cover in this game. I want to say this. Will the Browns score?
Yeah.
You sure?
Think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because this Bills team the defense has had excellent games against the Jets and the Panthers. And are the Browns not
right there?
Yeah. Offensively, the Panthers, it was Andy Dalton. Right? So, also with a broken thumb on one hand. And the Jets, it's Justin Fields. Their offense is bad. The Browns' offense is bad, and it's Shedeur Sanders. Is he going to have any idea what to do against this Bills defense? The great quarterbacks can stand back there and maybe find their spots and still lose. And that's because Josh Allen's there to kind of lead them in a shootout if he needs to be.
Their running back is very good.
He is very good, but they don't run it very well.
Yeah, they don't run it that well.
Is this not going to be a game where the Bills win 31-9?
Could be.
It's a Panthers game script.
Could also be, you saw what they looked like against the Dolphins.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have a little bit of bite.
True.
And the Browns just don't. They don't have any. Are we really going to be at watch out for this team status on the Cleveland Browns?
No, probably not.
The Patriots put up 40 on this team?
Mm-hmm.
So I know the Browns defense is good. Sorry, 32-13, the Patriots beat them.
They've got 2 good players on their defense.
Carson Schwessinger and Myles Garrett?
Yes.
Are those the 2?
I think so.
No Denzel Ward?
He's good, but I don't view him as like,
I'm just happy I named 3 Browns defenders.
You did.
Are they all still on the Browns? Yeah.
Yes, they are.
All right, good. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550 to join us. Jeremy and Joe, Nate's in here. We'll talk with Sal about the Bills and the injury report and the idea that I think we should just prepare ourselves to see Dalton Kincaid on the injury report every week. Just go ahead and plan for that. He's got a knee issue. It doesn't have to be the kind of thing that keeps him out, but just go ahead and plan for it. Plan for him to be on the injury report and then playing. That's kind of where I am. We'll see if Sal agrees. Denzel Ward's hurt. Okay. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550 here on WGR. But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, I want to say, like, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? In the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too. Detroit and Minnesota. I mean,
right. The Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're on the road.
On the
road. Not just for like one game, but like, oh, no, you're going to be on the road the whole time. The whole time. Which I guess it could fall away where you don't. But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you? We are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Like, let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating. Because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by franchise tagging him. He got tagged twice, correct? He definitely got tagged once,
I think
like
he
for
got
sure.
tagged once.
And they ended up paying way above market value by waiting another 18 months. But Dallas says that with everybody. So they're just, but to me, I look back and I say, in the moment, everyone is like, what is Washington doing? Like, clearly, this is the best quarterback you're going to have. You drafted him, you sign him. And I think that there is just such a, it's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Game night for the Sabres down at KeyBank Center. Sabres and Flyers. They're on a winning streak. You want to do the thing where we had this last year, Operation 10 straight? Rather than think about the pace they have to go on, I'll just constantly update you how many wins in a row they need to get to the point pace they probably need. That's easier for me. We just root for a 7-game win streak.
Sure.
And then once that's over, like have a normal year. As opposed to trying to think like, let's make up a point every week. No, like a win streak. So if you want to do that, they've already won 4 in a row or three in a row. So disregard that. If they were to win their next, this is fine, but we're going to do this anyway. Okay, I'm still clicking. One more. Okay, one more. Okay, yeah. They have to win next. The next 1, 2, 3, 7 in a row.
They have to win 7 more.
From here.
Okay, so 10.
Well, they've already won 3. So right now it's 7. You win 7 in a row, you get to a 97-point pace, which was the original idea of get 6 out of every 10, you should be in a playoff spot. So you want to make it 6 in a row from here, 95-point pace. The conference does not look great. The division does not look great. So, beat Philly, the Islanders, the Devils, the Senators, and the Bruins. 5 straight from here. Maybe it's asking too much, but I'll keep updating that. Kyle and Snyder. Hey, Kyle, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Had a fantasy football question. Hope you can help out.
Sure.
3/4-point PPR league. First question is tight end, Colby Parkinson, Tyler Warren, or Darren Waller. And the second question is about quarterback, lost Mahomes. So darts or pick up somebody like Shuck, Rogers, or Bryce Young. Appreciate your help, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kyle. 2 things.
Shuck is so interesting.
The tight end conversation. If you want to make this a fantasy Thursday, because Joe might be better at this than both of us in terms of knowing everything about what matchups. But I'll tell you this on your tight ends. Number 1, Darren Waller is, I know, a very hot idea. I saw Matthew Berry in his email. It was pick up Darren Waller this week. You got to get Darren Waller in your lineup. Tyler Warren, I would have in my lineup. The Niners' defense is not very good and has been getting shredded by tight ends. So those would be my 2 there. And the Jackson Dart conversation is funny because I have Jackson Dart in the league, and I'm not going to play him in a playoff game for one reason alone. What is it?
He keeps getting hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
You kind of have to build in when playing Jackson Dart. Like, okay.
Is he going to make it through the game?
When will he go to the blue tent?
Yeah.
Will he miss a series, a quarter? Will he get concussed? I know it's terrible, but like I am choosing to not count on him to not get concussed. As a dynasty quarterback, he runs, he's athletic, he's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch, but they've got a problem. So, yeah, my answers would be Warren and or Waller, and I would like Bryce Young. Who do they play? Carolina plays.
I can tell you in 1 second.
The Bucks.
Yes, a juicy matchup.
Bryce Young is a good pick there if he's available. Bryce Young. The Bucks have been getting shredded by everybody. I mean, Kirk Cousins just what did he do? 370. The Bills. Tyrell Shavers went 4 for 90 against the Bucks. Right, you can shred that team up. So Bucks Panthers, sure. I'd go Bryce Young. I know that there might be some that would say Jackson Dart's a better play. I'd be so nervous about a concussion.
Yeah, nothing would be worse than starting Jackson Dart and losing him in the second quarter.
Right. 803-0550. Sal on the other side, the latest from Bills practice, what they had to say about their win over New England, where they are, this game against the Browns. Myles Garrett, of course, is going to be someone they have to focus on in a big way, and the injury report as well. It's all coming up. Jeremy and Joe. Nate's in for Joe here on WGR. But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you we are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Like, let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating. Because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by you drafted him, you sign him. And I think that there is just such it's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married.
Join WGR and Bud Light for a Buffalo Football Friday happy hour. Chopin Bulldog will be broadcasting live on Friday, December 19th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Draft Room downtown. You'll have your chance to enter to win a Josh Allen jersey. No purchase necessary. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly, 21 plus. The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be the first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck drop is set for 7:30. You can catch all the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, McCole Hardman Jr. with a calf injury, who had his 21-day practice window open. They were all limited participants in the estimated practice. And Dalton Kincaid with a knee injury, Deion Dawkins with an illness, Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, and Matt Prater with a right quad injury did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams are in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. In other news, the Dolphins released edge rusher Matthew Judon. USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon has declared for the 2026 NFL Draft. Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams with a hamstring injury is doubtful for Week 16 against the Seahawks. Joe Burrow said he, quote, can't see a scenario where he leaves the Bengals in 2026. But he has thought about playing elsewhere in his career. Lamar Jackson with an illness did not practice on Wednesday. Texans running back Nick Chubb with a rib injury was limited in Wednesday's practice. And Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers. He will be the emergency third-string quarterback behind Zach Wilson. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Sal Capaccio in to update us on the Buffalo Bills, what was said at practice yesterday, at media session, injury reports, all that good stuff ahead of Bills-Browns. Sal, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. It feels like we haven't talked in a while, and I'm realizing it's because as we got to the normal Sunday, that you get some time off in the middle of the week, from us at least, like we don't have to talk every Tuesday or necessarily Wednesday. When we were doing those Mondays and Thursdays, like we were doing it all the time. So a nice Sunday cadence has returned.
Yeah, we knew that the Bills would have a bit more of a routine here for a while, just playing on Sundays, and then they had the one game was flexed from 4:30 to 1, obviously 4:25 to 1, but you're right, it's just Sunday. Now the NFL is a little different though, starting this week. 2 Saturday games this week, guys. You know that, right? There's going to be two Saturday games this week. Eagles at Commanders at 5 o'clock. Packers at Bears at 8:20, which is huge Saturday night.
Yeah. 2 big ones, which is good. That's good. And it's funny, Sal, we were going over this yesterday. I think this is the latest in the season without any single division being clinched. Like this far in, no one is clinched. The Broncos are the only team that can clinch, I believe. Maybe the Eagles too. Broncos and Eagles can clinch this weekend, and no one else will clinch.
Yeah, it's a good point. Didn't think about that. I did see. I'm looking at the standings right now. Oh, the Bills, they can clinch this week too. A playoff spot. I meant the division though. I know, but the Bills can clinch a playoff spot this week if they win, and either Indy or Houston loses, I believe, or ties.
Yep.
But you're right about that. It is interesting you say that. I tweeted something out yesterday. It was really interesting that I've gotten so many really interesting responses on about the proposal the Lions made last year.
Yeah.
That was teams should be seeded only by record. You would still get in automatically if you win your division, so it wouldn't change the field. But you then would just seed everybody by record and not by the 4 division winners automatically get a home game. Because the reason I tweeted it out is this year, the AFC North champ is most likely going to have at least like 2 less wins than all 3 wildcard teams.
Yep.
Yet they're going to host one of them. Same thing's going to happen in the NFC with the NFC South. So it's pretty interesting.
I'm supportive of that, Sal. I also think it would the net result could be that the end of the season is better because, sure, all the division races are still there. And now, you get it sometimes where that last division winner or like Houston was this last year. Their last game didn't matter, right? Because you're locked into the 4 seed here. Instead, you might have the 4 seed, as it stands now, motivated to try to get a home game that they don't earn yet. You can still earn a home game by being one of the 4 best teams and keep the playoff field the same. You can go ahead and guarantee a spot. Nate and I were joking that the college football playoff is like the other end of the spectrum, where for a minute there it looked like they're like, you know what? Yeah, sure, you won the ACC, but maybe we won't bring anybody from your conference to our championship. So the college football playoff, as it is, messed up maybe, that's about the best teams regardless of conference to a point. And the NFL, they're just still really, driving up the divisional value. So I don't anticipate a change. I don't know if you were at owners' meetings last year. Is there a swell of support for that, or you think that's still DOA for a while?
There was some momentum, we actually thought. And then there was somebody who proposed, well, if you have to have at least a 500 record. I think there was something about that.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. Most of the response I got are not in favor of it. But I would tell you, it's so funny. Most of the responses I got were, well, winning the division should still mean something. I'm like, well, it still would. You would still get into the playoffs by winning your division. That still means a ton, right? It's not like your winning your division wouldn't mean anything. So I just think it's interesting because you just brought up that, the division winners right now, there is nobody that's clinched the division. So it's just really interesting. I wonder if it does get brought up this year once again, whether that be by the Lions or even the Bills or a team like the Chargers or the Texans or a team that, is going to possibly be hurt by this.
Yep. Sal Capaccio on the Wester Hotline as we get ready for Bills Browns. Sal, the injury report. Let's do that first. The Barnes Firm injury report brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured call 1-800-8-million. Sal, should we just kind of expect to see Dalton Kincaid on the injury report each and every week at this point? He's going through something. We kind of maybe know that, right? So Kincaid knee, I'm just going to prepare myself for that every week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I would say that for sure. I think what gets you a little this week was a little bit more eye-raising, I guess, though, thinking about that is he was not given to us as a name by Sean McDermott before we went to practice yesterday, or at least before they practiced. We didn't watch because it's a walkthrough. Sean McDermott ran through the names yesterday, and he told us that the only 2 people who wouldn't practice were going to be Jordan Phillips and Matt Prater. Now, they've already been ruled out of the game. We know that. And then he said everybody else, will be out there in some capacity, basically. And that included Christian Benford, which is really good news, obviously, right? We can get to him. Well, then after practice, we get the injury report, and Deion Dawkins with an illness didn't practice, so, that can happen. And then it's Dalton Kincaid with the knee. And because Sean didn't give that name, I think that raises eyebrows. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? But I agree in the big picture, Jeremy, that it's probably just kind of normal that he's going to be on the injury report. I think the question is simply going to be if he's going to practice or be limited on most days as they manage through it.
How much did that hamper him last year? And should we look at it the same way, where his snap counts might be down? I guess what I want to ask here is, are they more prepared to, I don't know, lighten his load as a result? And then we get to the playoffs, maybe it kind of ramps back up?
I am wondering the same thing, which is, are his snap counts related to this? I would have to think they might be. I mean, he's really good this year catching the football. He's really good at, some of the, metrics of routes run and stuff like that, yards per route run. And he was the number 3 tight end as far as snap counts last week. Both Dawson Knox and Jackson Hawes outsnapped him. Now, it's also possibly and probably because those guys are better blockers and you don't have to use them when you're leaning into the run game as much. I get it. But I just wonder if as we go through the rest of the season here, especially the next 3 weeks before the playoffs, if this is going to be something that they're just managing him every week to make sure that he stays healthy as much as possible and his snap counts are a little lower.
Mecole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal,
Yep.
his 21-day window, hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten in any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket like a Brandon Codrington, right, even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple of snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
It's funny because I was going to ask you, how much does Ray Davis's last couple of games maybe complicate that decision? But to your point, I think it's more a question about punt return. And I also think, too, Sal, there's probably an argument to be made the ideal situation is not having Khalil Shakir returning punts going into the playoffs.
Probably right. I agree with that. And I think that the plan was to not have that anyway a few weeks ago, and then Hardman got hurt. You know what I mean? So they had to go back to that. So that's probably right. And, yeah, Ray Davis doesn't really impact what's happening at punt return. It's funny. When I tweeted out the other day, Ray Davis, leads the league in kick return average, a lot of people asked me, well, if he's so good at it, why can't he return punts? And I asked him this yesterday, and I was ready for the answer. I knew the answer. I generally said what I believe, which is they're two totally separate skill sets. But I said to Ray Davis yesterday, hey, everybody asks me, if you're so good at kick returns, what about punt returning? I went back and looked. He never had a punt return in college or the NFL. And he's like, yeah, it's totally different. It's like, yeah, you could probably do it. I could, practice it and do it. But it's something, if you've never done it before, that's a really different deal.
Yeah, it's interesting, how the new kickoff format has, Sal, you wonder if teams will get an advantage like the Bills have with these Ray Davis returns. Would you expect that to, dry up might be a little bold here, but, as teams see what they're doing on film, all right, here's what they do. For a while, kickoffs had gotten, kind of stale. Maybe that's just to the layperson. And now the innovations, the things that a coach like Chris Tabor can kind of introduce, could be matchup specific. We're seeing the reintroduction of value in kickoffs and kick returns, and it's changed the way the game is being played. For sure. And, yeah, it was a good point that we talked about, with Ray again yesterday, and how – and with Reggie Gilliam, that they basically show up to the facility on Monday and Tuesday, and as the week's going on, and Chris Tabor basically goes, okay, here's what we're thinking this week. What do you think about this? And they look like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. It's totally a surprise. They don't know. They're creative with it. They're coming up with new things, new wrinkles. You saw that last week. And, Reggie Gilliam as a lead blocker in front of Ray Davis, and then Alec Anderson as a lead blocker in front of Ray Davis, it's really no different than them running a run play. They just have more space, but, they're basically using them as lead blockers on ISO, like I formation and going through the hole. So it's super interesting how these guys and these special teams coordinators are trying to kind of figure out new wrinkles and new things to do. And I'm interested to see what the Bills do this week if they're going to try anything different. Yeah. Sal, do you think we could be entering any sort of load management time for, let's just start with one player, James Cook, right? You want to make sure your best players are ready for the playoffs. They have not yet clinched their spot. They could do that with a win. But is that on the table, you think? I don't know. He's going for the rushing title. Okay. I think, guys, though, the team will do what's best for the team. Remember when James Cook had that rushing, the touchdown record at stake last year? Remember they took him out of the game and then they put him back in against the Patriots? Do you remember that? That happened week 18 last year. He wasn't going to play, but then they got near the goal line. They put him back in. Isn't that how it went down? And then he broke the Bills rushing touchdown record because they did that. So I think that they understand. They have those accolades in mind. They'll still do what's best for the team. As far as load management, I don't know. James, he leads the league. I think he's one carry shy maybe even of Jonathan Taylor and leading the league in
in rushing attempts. I was stunned by that this year when I looked at that because I just didn't think that would happen with James Cook. Right? He's a smaller running back. He doesn't take a ton of shots, but I don't know, Jeremy. It's a good question. I don't think that they're going to necessarily start taking him off the field. They need to win games here.
Yeah.
That's the other part about it. Like, they're still alive. As long as the division is still in play, I don't think there's any load management going on for anybody.
Can I ask you something? I'm just thinking of, like, in this moment about, like, a smaller running back. So a lot around the league has been about how teams have decided, offenses have decided to get bigger, right? 3 tight ends, and your receivers, of course, have to block. But, like, the Bills are one of these teams. The Rams are one of these teams. Last year, the Ravens are one of these teams. Could it be that a smaller back might be able to flourish just because as offenses get bigger and now defenses have to get bigger, that I don't need the punishing back. What I need is the elusive back to get through like that thicker defense instead of like whatever. I'm just feeling like what Cook does.
Yeah, I like
when we watch him. We watch him slither, and it's really amazing to watch him find these holes where maybe a larger guy wouldn't find those holes.
Yeah, and I have it in front of me. 272 attempts for Jonathan Taylor, 271 for James Cook. So he's one attempt behind. He's only 28 rushing yards behind the title right now, by the way, the leader in the league. To your to your point, Jeremy, the other part, 100% right. But I would also say it's because the Bills run a lot of inside zone. It's basically James Cook picks his hole. You know what I mean? Like, that helps too. You're not running ISO. What ISO is, it's isolation. It's you taking a fullback and running right at a linebacker and just going, you follow this guy into the hole and we're going big boy football. Yeah, you can run that, but that's not what he's doing. They run a lot of inside zone, which is, okay, we're going to have lead blockers, but you're going to pick your hole on when you want to, in the cutback lanes and all those kinds of things. That's what James Cook does. And, when you watch him run, he took a couple shots last week, but he generally doesn't take these really big shots. He understands how to get down. He understands how to move his body around. So, yeah, I was surprised. If you would have told me coming in the year that James Cook would be near the league lead in rushing attempts, I'd be like, what? No way. I would never believe that. But, he's earned it this year, and he's 28 yards off right now being the league leader in rushing.
Sal Capaccio joining us on the Worcester Hotline. Myles Garrett, Sal, having one of the all-time great seasons, went through some of the numbers yesterday that sacks per pass, he's the best ever right now. Like, this season dwarfs really any other season, even the Strahan season or Reggie White season in 1987. Garrett's been incredible. The Bills, talking about him, I saw Spencer Brown had a funny comment about this. Like, he hopes it doesn't happen, but if the record-breaking sack is on him, like, I get to tell my kids that someday. Like, that's me getting roasted by Myles Garrett. So it feels like the Bills have like this, offensive linemen always, to what I hear, seem to praise him. Like, they appreciate Garrett as not only a great player, but a player that they like. It seems like there's a lot of respect for him around the league.
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you this, guys. Deion Dawkins has consistently said in his time in the NFL since Myles Garrett came in, and he's been in here together, Deion Dawkins has consistently said that Myles Garrett is the toughest guy for him to block. I was at an event with Deion just a few months ago. Someone asked him this very question: who's the toughest guy you have to block? And he said, it's Myles Garrett. And he goes, ask my wife. She knows this. I say about it all the time. It's kind of funny. And I think that he is really highly regarded. And here's the other part about it. Myles Garrett's a complete player. We talk all about the sacks, and he is amazing at what he does, sacking the quarterback, and he might shatter the record, right? I mean, he's a sack and a half shy of the single season record. The guy I think he wants to get to like 25, right? Which is amazing. But guys, he's great against the run too. I mean, he's a complete player. He plays everything. He is a fantastic, and he's getting better, it seems like, as he's getting older. Josh Allen was asked about the same thing about what if it happens against you? And he said, I like highlight tapes and I like being on other people's highlight tapes. Josh doesn't want to get sacked by Myles Garrett for the all-time, show the record breaker. And no tackle wants to have that happen to them. But if it happens, it's not like they did anything wrong necessarily, right? This guy that's doing it to everybody. And Josh Allen and Myles Garrett are both going in the Hall of Fame someday. So it's not like it would be part of a legacy. But sure, you want to avoid that. You know how you avoid it if you're the Bills? You run the ball really well. You keep the Browns off balance, and you don't let Myles Garrett, tee off because Josh Allen has to take 5-step drops.
So safe to say we're not going to see a Brett Favre, Michael Strahan situation?
I don't think so, Nate. That's right. And the other, we're not going to see that. The other thing is there's 3 games left. If Myles Garrett doesn't get it this week, he's probably still going to get it before the end of the season. So in that particular, because I've heard people talk about this, it's funny, Nate. in that particular situation, that was the last game of the year, and there wasn't much time left. It was the second half. So it was like, well, he either gets it now or he doesn't, and Brett Favre, took the dive, basically. So, and every time I think about that, I think about Mark Gastineau being very mad at Brett Favre when he confronted him.
Sal Capaccio joining us on the Western Hotline. Finally, Sal, Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback in Cleveland. It's been a season where they're talking about his growth. I heard Daryl Ryder on the afternoon show say that he would be interested in seeing a little bit more of Sanders next year, that he's not been great, but there are some moments in there. There are some throws. I think what Daryl said yesterday was there are some throws I haven't seen Browns quarterbacks make in a while. So maybe I don't even want to go puncher's chance because I think the Browns' chances are actually below that. But Sean McDermott against rookie quarterbacks, is this one of those times to bust out that stat where he just flat out often does not lose to rookie quarterbacks?
Yeah, we were looking it up yesterday. I don't have it in front of me. I think maybe we got to 16-4 or something like that against rookie quarterbacks.
Okay.
Something like that. It's a really good record. And even the second-year quarterback in Drake May, look at how much I think Drake May was a bit confused last week in the second half because the Bills did a lot of things that he wasn't prepared for, didn't see, and they didn't have a counter to it, and he was kind of holding on to the ball too long. But I do think there's a game for that. You have to do whatever you can. You're still alive for the division. You're still trying to get a playoff spot. You're trying to clinch playoffs this week. I mean, that's a goal for the Bills this week, right? You win this game, and if something goes your way in the Houston loses or Indy loses, you clinch a playoff spot, right? I said division, but you clinch a playoff spot. And I think that's a really big deal. So, yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to come up with a game plan to try and make sure you win this game and get it home. Get home to your fans next week and celebrate, that you've clinched a playoff spot and maybe the division is still alive. In fact, it would be still alive no matter what. So, yeah, I think that's what you do against Shedeur Sanders. I think you confuse him as much as possible. Don't let him know what he's looking at. And I agree. I like some of the throws that I've seen from Shedeur. He's a really good athlete. Obviously, we know the bloodlines. We know the story. Very polarizing player coming into the league. That being said, I think just from a start of the game to end of the game, I don't think he's had over 55% completions other than one game. One game, I think he had over 55. He doesn't have a high completion percentage. They are not running the ball very well, guys. So they don't have a real good, compliment to him. They're not protecting him with the run game very much. Remember a few years ago when the Browns were this incredible offensive line running the ball? Well, that's pretty much gone now. They're not doing that like they used to. And their receivers are good, but they're not having the best year. So I think this is a game where you need to confuse the rookie quarterback as much as possible.
Very good. Sal Capaccio on the Western Hotline. Thanks, Sal.
You got it, guys.
Bills and Browns, Sunday, 1 o'clock, and that's Sal's update. I have some instant trivia when we get back for you guys based on the Jonathan Taylor pursuit of a second consecutive rushing title. If Taylor wins it, he'd go back-to-back. James Cook is on his heels. Cook also does lead the league in yards over expected rushing this season. So credit to him for that. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. Bills and Browns, Sunday, 1 o'clock. We'll get to instant trivia, get to the 8 o'clock hour. Paul Hamilton joins us, previewing tonight's Sabres and Flyers game. We've got Tom Brady talking again about how he could still play. So we might have some fun with that. It's all coming up here on WGR.
Cole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal, his 21-day window hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket like a Brandon Codrington, right, even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Well, the bigger picture is they have 6 wide receivers as it is. You add McCole Hardman to the mix, now you have 7 wide receivers. So I agree with you. You could simply say he doesn't count. We're counting him as just a guy totally different, totally separate as a wide receiver, and that's fine, but he's still on there, and they are going to have to make a roster move if and when he does get activated. So he did begin his 21-day window, which means the team has 21 days to activate him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend, though. I mean, the Bills are last in the league in punt return yardage. They're they're first or second in kickoff return yardage. They have Ray Davis is leading the league now in kick return average, but punt returns is still hurting them as far as field position, and I think it's just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
The injury report. Let's do that first. The Barnes Firm injury report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured, call 1-800-8-million. Sal, should we just kind of expect to see Dalton Kincaid on the injury report each and every week at this point? Like, he's going through something. We kind of maybe know that, right? So Kincaid knee, I'm just going to prepare myself for that every week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I would say that for sure. I think what gets you a little this week was a little bit more eye-raising, I guess, though, thinking about that is he was not given to us as a name by Sean McDermott before we went to practice yesterday, or at least before they practiced. We didn't watch because it's a walkthrough. Sean McDermott ran through the names yesterday, and he told us that the only two people who wouldn't practice were going to be Jordan Phillips and Matt Prater. Now, they've already been ruled out of the game. We know that. And then he said everybody else, will be out there in some capacity, basically. And that included Christian Benford, which is really good news, obviously, right? We can get to him. Well, then after practice, we get the injury report, and Deion Dawkins with an illness didn't practice, so, that can happen. And then it's Dalton Kincaid with the knee. And because Sean didn't give that name, I think that raises eyebrows. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? But I agree in the big picture, Jeremy, that it's probably just kind of normal that he's going to be on the injury report. I think the question is simply going to be if he's going to practice or be limited on most days as they manage through it.
The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be the first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck drop set for 7:30. You can catch all the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday, so the estimated injury report: Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, Mecole Hardman Jr. with a calf injury, who had his 21-day practice window open, were all limited participants. Dalton Kincaid with a knee injury, Dion Dawkins with an illness, Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, and Matt Prater dealing with a right quad injury all did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm injury report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in their last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions earlier this season. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
King.
Dion, there's a lot of fans who want Myles Garrett to be a teammate of yours next season. Is that going to happen or what?
A lot of fans or a lot of current players that want Myles to be.
Yeah.
Hey, Myles, I know you looking, man. Come on and rock with your boys, man. We have a chance to do something great. And if we had you this year, we never know. You could have had that game-changing play.
Yeah.
But look, bro, we love you. I love you. And I need you here in Orchard Park so we can go ahead and get this thing
Dion,
done.
you're
Last year's Super Bowl, Dion Dawkins, that was back when Myles Garrett was submitting letters, open letters in the paper to the Browns and their fans. Thanks for the memories. I've got to do something else. And, of course, he signed a big, giant contract. And he's living up to it. On track to break the sack record this season. And it's not going to be because he has more games to do it. He's actually going to do it in fewer pass rush reps than guys that have more than him. But Dion Dawkins, that was a fun time, Nate. Nate's in for Joe. Jeremy and Joe, Nate's in.
It was a fun time.
It was a fun time. Like, hey, could they make it happen? Could they get Myles Garrett? If they had done that, I mean, well, if they had done that, they don't want to play the game for a minute.
Yes.
Want to kind of get stupid here. They don't have Max Hairston, right? Because they don't have a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And they don't have a first-round pick in this next coming draft.
Okay.
And, the butterfly effect might get wild. Maybe if you do that, since you've drafted Myles Garrett, or traded for Myles Garrett, you're not drafting Landon Jackson in the third.
No, you're not.
Maybe in the second round you're going corner. In the third you're going defensive tackle. Who knows? But Garrett.
Ugh.
Dawkins there. I love you. I need you here. High praise for him. Everything I've seen from Garrett in terms of like being mic'd up and watching him play against other players, he apologizes to quarterbacks for hitting them.
Yeah.
There's a clip earlier this year. They played the Niners, and he got Purdy, and he after the game apologized. Like, sorry, I hit you on the wrong way. Like, this is Garrett who once swung his helmet at Mason Rudolph, right?
Yes.
All right.
I
forgot about that.
Forget about that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Remember, people wanted him arrested.
Yes. Literally arrested.
Adam
yes.
Schefter, was he the one that tweeted assault?
Yes.
Yeah. That all kind of just went, away.
It really did.
It really just kind of went away.
Also,
Aaron Donald also swung a helmet at dudes at a practice, though.
Yes, it was
right?
at practice, yeah.
All right. Maybe that should be in the scouting report. What do you want in a defensive lineman? Someone that will swing a helmet at an opponent.
Yeah.
And then I know that guy's probably great.
Yeah.
That might not be it. 803-0550. Do you want some trivia?
Yes.
I've got instant trivia for you here. You can all play. Joe Cali can play. Owen the Parlay Killer is here. He can play too. Got a fantastic four-way parlay coming up later today. So, James Cook's pursuit of the rushing title. He could get it. He could beat out Jonathan Taylor. If he does not beat out Jonathan Taylor and Jonathan Taylor wins it, Taylor would go back-to-back on rushing titles. There have been 5 players to go back-to-back on the rushing title since 1990.
Okay.
Who are they? The 5 that have gone back-to-back. Ooh. And by the way, one thing I was checking out with this, the rushing title, this is a good illustration sometimes of a moving target, right? Like if you say Trying to think here. What's a good example of this? Well, here I am saying this rushing title thing is a good example of something, and I can't think. Some years the rushing title is won with 2,000 yards.
Right, yeah.
In some years it's won with 1,435.
Yeah.
Like, if you had 1,800 yards in a year and you had it in the wrong year, like, sorry, you didn't win a rushing title. Anyway, Jonathan Taylor looking for back-to-back. He would be the 6th since 1990. Who are the other 5?
Derrick Henry.
He is the last to win back-to-back rushing titles.
Okay.
Jamal Lewis.
No.
Ooh. Did McCaffrey ever squeak in there early?
He won a rushing title. He never won back-to-back.
Okay.
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson never won back-to-back.
LT?
LT. Yes, LaDainian Tomlinson did.
All right.
Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander is not correct.
So we have 3 more?
Yes.
3 more. Prime Shady get there at all?
Not back-to-back.
Okay.
Terrell Davis.
No. Not correct.
Classic. Jim Brown.
90.
Too far back.
Too far back.
Yeah, 1990.
Yeah.
Sorry.
5 since
Forgot about our
1990.
parameters.
McCaffrey won it in 2023. Who else did you ask about? McCoy won it in 2013.
Right.
Not back-to-back. Chris Johnson won it in 2009, not back-to-back. And Jamal Lewis was another one of your guesses. 2003, not back-to-back. Back-to-back rushing title winners. Henry and LT you have.
There's got to be one guy that's like right at 1990.
These are
That's
all
the cutoff point.
These are all Hall of Famers.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is a point to be made about Jonathan Taylor. Like, is he going to the Hall of Fame?
I don't know what the running back threshold for this era is going to be. It's going to be a weird era.
Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley.
Wait, sorry. Taylor's not going back-to-back. Taylor is the leader right now, of course, obviously. Taylor won one previously. He would not be going back-to-back. Because Barkley won it last year. What'd you say?
Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley, no.
I'm trying to
Just pulling any running back from
like 90s Hall of Fame running back.
I mean,
Thurman? Yeah. 90s Hall of Fame running backs.
Thurman?
No.
Emmett Smith?
Correct.
That's the right.
Emmett Smith won 3 in a row.
Wow.
91, 92, 93.
Wow. So we have 2 left.
And then 95. Here's a hint for the Emmett Smith one. Over the course of 1990 to 1997, 2 guys won the rushing title. Emmett Smith won it 4 times, and this guy won it 4 times.
Wow.
Wow, I really should
Yes, you really should
be getting this.
smoke's coming out of
This
his
is
we weren't alive.
This is where
Right.
This is where
Fair.
You weren't alive. None of you were alive in 1997.
No.
I was alive.
No.
I was
02.
alive.
02 as well.
We just need someone like
I was alive.
I was going to say we need someone on the staff who's old, and that's where you guys would be like, I'm old. I mean, this is a name that you don't have to be born to know who this person is.
I know, and it's really bothering me.
Well, no, never mind.
Oh my goodness.
I have to think of. I'm trying to think of teams.
We're gonna get pulled off the air. The FCC is gonna come in.
Come on, man.
We have 2 left. One of them we should know. The other one is also we should know.
I mean, the other one is less you should know, but I mean, who's one of the best running backs of all time?
Barry
guys?
Sanders.
Yeah,
Barry Sanders.
God.
That took a little too long.
Fire all of us.
Not me.
Now.
All right, we have 1 more left.
One more. Back-to-back rushing titles.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
My phone's blowing up. Like, what's wrong with these dudes? Yeah. Barry Sanders.
I wasn't alive.
Marshall Falk.
No.
Okay, that's a good guess, right?
I liked that guess.
It was indeed
I
a
respected
guess.
that guess.
I don't think he ever won a rushing title. But
Curtis Martin.
hold on. Marshall Falk is not correct. But the player that replaced Marshall Falk,
Edgerrin James.
correct.
Okay.
Because Falk was with the Colts, went to the Rams.
Yes.
Edgerrin James jumped in, and he won back-to-back rushing titles.
I feel so bad. Every time we do one of these, I have to look away from the chat because they always just spam the answers. And I just looked over there after we finished. Barry Sanders! What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. I really am.
James Cook. James Cook, I mean, you want him to win that rushing title, or you want him to load manage it?
Get the title. What's
Definitely
100 different yards going to do?
Definitely
Just go for it.
He's going to be fine.
Well, the idea would be there's a 3% chance he suffers a season-ending injury while going for the title. Or not even season-ending, a 3-week injury. An LCL sprain, turf toe, a hamstring pull.
He's pretty durable, isn't he? Like
he does.
He's never played
he
this
does
much.
Slither.
So that's fair. But he's so good at getting out.
Last year,
Saquon
Barkley had a chance to not only win the title, but to set the NFL record.
Right.
And sat.
That's true. But that's the Eagles.
This is not the NFL record. It's not 2,000 yards. Just finishing ahead of Jonathan Taylor. If he gets it, he gets it. I would start to go to let's work some more Ty Johnson and Ray Davis into the running game.
Well, they've been good anyways.
All right. Second halves of games. First off, I guess for this to happen, the Bills have to not be down by 21 at the half.
Yep.
Maybe be up by 21 at the half.
Yes.
That might be a different game script, and then James Cook can come out. I'd be protecting him a little bit.
I probably would too, because if James Cook gets hurt, you're in trouble.
Your explosives are in trouble. Yeah. 803-0550 and 1-888-550-2550. Myles Garrett. He's not getting traded this offseason. I think Joe once said to me that he had a very trade-friendly contract, and I don't know if I see how that's possible.
He should want to get traded. He should have tried to get traded last year. Is really what happened.
He signed 4 years, $160 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
One thing that I just noted was kind of funny about this. This is the nature of the position. Guaranteed at signing. Myles Garrett, when he signed his deal, $88 million. Guaranteed at signing for Tua, $93.
Wow.
Be a quarterback, kids.
Be a quarterback.
Right?
Wow.
Guaranteed at sign for Tua, $93 million, and for Myles Garrett, $88. And Garrett's came later, too.
Wow.
Yeah. Quarterback, play quarterback, you're going to get paid. 803-0550, our phone number, and 1-888-550-2550. Tonight, it's Rams and Seahawks with a lot of one seed in the NFC implications. If the Rams win it, they are in great shape. They will probably be the 1 seed. And if the Seahawks win it, the Niners and the Seahawks are back kind of in the mix to finish as the 1 seed. The division race is,
That's a really strong division.
Yes, it is.
It's a very strong
The
division.
4th team is Arizona, who, when they play Jacoby Brissett, is no pushover.
No. They stink, but he throws the ball all over the yard. To Trey McBride.
And to Michael Wilson. But I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is back this week.
Michael Wilson, though.
Good player. 803-0550.
Third round pick?
I should know that.
Second or third?
I don't think
It's
he's a
one of those
second. I don't think he's a second. I think maybe a third. Stanford, right?
Yep.
803-0550, our phone number. Jeremy and Joe. Nate is in, and we're talking Bills with you, Bills-Browns. I haven't heard anybody say trap game. That's good. The confidence is, I don't know. Some Bills fans they get nervous when you get confident.
Third round, by the way.
Third round.
94th overall.
Stanford, all right.
Yeah.
Very good. What year? 2022?
3.
Okay. All right. Paul Hamilton at 8:30 ahead of Sabres and Flyers tonight. The Jarmo Kekalainen era begins. But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you? We are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating. Because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by franchise tagging him. He got tagged twice, correct? He definitely got tagged once,
I think he
for
got
sure.
tagged once.
And they ended up paying way above market value by waiting another 18 months. But Dallas does that with everybody. So they're just, but to me, I look back and I say, in the moment, everyone is like, what is Washington doing? Like, clearly, this is the best quarterback you're going to have. You drafted him, you sign him. And I think that there is just such a, it's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married. Nicole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal, his 21-day window hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket like a Brandon Codrington, right, even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple of snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Well, the bigger picture is they have 6 wide receivers as it is. You add Mecole Hardman to the mix, now you have 7 wide receivers. So I agree with you. You could simply say he doesn't count. We're counting him as just a guy totally different, totally separate as a wide receiver, and that's fine, but he's still on there, and they are going to have to make a roster move if and when he does get activated. So he did begin his 21-day window, which means the team has 21 days to activate him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend, though. I mean, the Bills are last in the league in punt return yardage. They're they're first or second in kickoff return yardage. They have Ray Davis is leading the league now in kick return average, but punt returns is still hurting them as far as field position. And I think it's just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
At the Bills game, fans calling for your job. Did you feel like you were in the hot seat at all last week?
Man, I've been in the hot seat for 19 years.
Mike Tomlin.
I guess.
The Steelers are so back. They have a game this week they could lose. They could lose a lot of their games, right?
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
They play the Lions on Sunday. They should
lose.
They should get bodied. I mean, they should really get blown out.
Jeremy
and Joe. Joe's out. Nate's in today. Good morning. 803-0550, our phone number if you want to jump into the phone call. Bills, Browns, Sabres, Flyers tonight. The Yarmo era begins. We'll see if it's, I don't know if one game on a Thursday is going to feel any different, but a win would be nice. And this is a team, the Flyers, that they lost to last week, and it felt like rock bottom. Paul talked about it quite a bit, how the players looked. So same team, same kind of spot. All right, go ahead and win a game against a team that you feel like you can probably beat, even though they are having a good season. The Flyers are. They're in a playoff spot. So that's tonight. Jake in Buffalo is up. Hey, Jake, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Just thinking about Myles Garrett got me thinking about the Von Miller deal that Bean made. And, if we had a crystal ball and we could go back, I'm curious what you guys think would have been one of the best moves for the Bills if we could have gotten that off our books and maybe use some of that money a different way.
Yeah. Thanks, Jake. If you could undo the Von deal because he's going to get hurt, I mean, like, who knows what they would have done. I always, is the Von contract similar to Jarmo Kekalainen going out and trading a bunch of pieces to get Columbus into the playoffs and not dumping his free agents saying, like, screw it, we're going for it. And then it doesn't work, right? I think they won a playoff round and, like, well, you sacrificed your future. For the Bills, what'd you do? You spent a lot of money on a player that played 8 games that was very, very good, missed a lot of time, came back a shell of himself, and then was serviceable. Like, you didn't get what you paid for. I think when you're in a spot like the Bills, and like this offseason, we'll do it again. We just did it this past offseason. Go get somebody great. If you can find your way to somebody great, you should do what you can. Trading a first-round pick, trading up, whatever. I just think that teams at the top should be living in a different space than the teams that are hoping it happens.
Yep.
Right? Atlanta trading a future first to get an edge rusher when your quarterback is Michael Penix is not the same to me as if the Bills wanted to trade a future first to get Will Anderson while you're in a Josh Allen window.
Yep.
Like, if you want to do that, I think it makes a lot more sense for the Bills to do that. And to the point about Von, Jake, I hope that deal wouldn't lead you to, like, well, I don't ever want to,
make that mistake twice.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to go ahead and get too aggressive. I'm afraid of that. Sometimes it's not going to work out. Sometimes it is. Maybe you'd be a little bit more reluctant to sign a guy of his age because guys break down.
Yep.
But I hope they're not afraid of a big move, and I don't think that they are. I think that this offseason, if they fall short this offseason, who knows how they'll approach it. Who knows how it'll ultimately end. But I think it'll be an offseason with a big move, no matter what. They're gonna want to add somebody, and I think they'll be more willing to do it than they have been in some time, maybe since the Von deal.
It will also be, if they don't get to a Super Bowl this year, there will be more scrutiny than ever.
Well, you'll have to justify or come to terms with it's not just a Mahomes problem.
No, that's right. But it's been.
Because the Mahomes problem has been you can easily say, like, it's just a Mahomes problem.
Yeah.
Well, not this year. Now it's going to be somebody new. If whoever beats you, if you don't win it, somebody new beats you.
I also hate the conversation of, like, this is the easiest. Like, it's the best route because there aren't elite level quarterbacks, but, like, the Jags look like a scary team.
It is funny because the Bills' losses this year are to not good quarterbacks.
Right.
Like, for the most
and they
part.
beat all the good quarterbacks.
Right. They beat all the good ones. They lost to Drake May early, but other than that, they lost to a guy that's been benched.
Yep.
And 2 guys. Well, Penix is hurt. Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they lost to a backup. They lost to Davis Mills.
Yes.
Current backups the Bills have lost to Tua, Davis Mills, and I guess Penix. But Penix is probably the second best quarterback they have.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably.
Here's how you beat the Bills in the playoffs. You bench your starter, and you put the backup out there. And you just
if the Bills had to play Houston again.
With C.J. Stroud?
You're just like, do we put Davis Mills in this game?
803-0550.
He was good in the
I wouldn't mind getting to that with you on the other side. Want to rank likelihood to beat the Bills? Like, what team is the most likely to be the team that knocks them out? And what team is the least likely?
I like that.
of the playoff field.
Yes.
All right. 803-0550. Jimmy, we'll get to your call as well. 1-888-550-2550 here on WGR. Jeremy White here for Riverfront Auto Sales, 1379. But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I've been I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, I want to say, like, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, all right, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? You know, in the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too.
Yeah,
Detroit and Minnesota. I mean,
right. The Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're on the road. On the road. Not just for like one game, but like, oh, no, you're going to be on the road the whole time. The whole time. Which I guess it could fall away where you don't. Injury report. Let's do that first. The Barnes Firm injury report brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured, call 1-800-8-million. Sal, should we just kind of expect to see Dalton Kincaid on the injury report each and every week at this point? Like, he's going through something. We kind of maybe know that, right? So Kincaid, knee, I'm just going to prepare myself for that every week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I would say that for sure. I think what gets you a little this week was a little bit more eye-raising, I guess, though, thinking about that is he was not given to us as a name by Sean McDermott before we went to practice yesterday, or at least before they practiced. We didn't watch because it's a walkthrough. Sean McDermott ran through the names yesterday, and he told us that the only 2 people who wouldn't practice were going to be Jordan Phillips and Matt Prater. Now, they've already been ruled out of the game. We know that. And then he said everybody else, will be out there in some capacity, basically. And that included Christian Benford, which is really good news, obviously, right? We can get to him. Well, then after practice, we get the injury report, and Deion Dawkins with an illness didn't practice, so, that can happen. And then it's Dalton Kincaid with the knee. And because Sean didn't give that name, I think that raises eyebrows. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? But I agree in the big picture, Jeremy, that it's probably just kind of normal that he's going to be on the injury report. I think the question is simply going to be if he's going to practice or be limited on most days as they manage through it.
The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be the first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck drop set for 7:30, and you'll be able to catch all of the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, Mecole Hardman Jr. with a calf injury, who had his 21-day practice window open, were all limited participants in the estimated practice. Dalton Kincaid with a knee, Deion Dawkins with an illness, and Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, along with Matt Prater with the right quad injury, did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams are in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looks to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. In other news, the Dolphins released edge rusher Matthew Judon. USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon has declared for the 2026 NFL Draft. Devontae Adams, dealing with a hamstring injury, is doubtful for Week 16 against the Seahawks. Joe Burrow said he, quote, can't see a scenario where he leaves the Bengals in 2026, but he has thought about playing elsewhere in his career. Lamar Jackson did not practice with an illness. Nick Chubb practicing as a limited participant with his rib injury, and Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers. He will be the emergency third string behind Zach Wilson. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
No, I haven't thought about it. I do like highlight tapes, but I don't like being a part of other people's highlight tapes. I mean, he's an absolutely tremendous football player. He's one of the greatest of all times. And, yeah, I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with, and we got to be ready for everything that they can throw at us. But you have to be aware of where 95's at all times.
Josh, highlight tape in a moment. Question, follow-up. Good morning, Jeremy and Joe. Joe's out. Nate's here. Got to ask Alt Joe Kelly here something.
Alt Joe.
Alt Joe. He bets the alts, too, in our same game parlays.
Yes.
Question for you, Alt Joe.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I heard a throat clear, I thought, like, it's just a throat clear. Now I'm thinking, are you sending messages?
I thought so, too. Like
Matthew Judon.
I'm planting seeds, you could say.
Oh, yeah. Right. You want Matthew Judon, so in the update, you drop the old Matthew Judon available. All right.
I was wondering the same thing, actually.
I mean, listen, when I saw that he's going to be cut loose, why not? Right? The Bills have T.J. Sanders playing defensive end.
He's not. So I saw there was
is he a fit? But
he was, take what you will for PFF grades, but ranked 143 out of 143 qualifying. He doesn't have a sack this year.
Where's T.J. Sanders rank?
Right.
N/A because he plays defensive end.
Yeah.
All right. No Judon?
I mean, I'm at this point, I'm open to anything. They're on their defensive line. They're just so.
Put him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
803-0550. All right. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, Josh's highlight tape, his little comment there, like, I like being on highlight tapes. I don't want to be on somebody else's. What is the best example of Josh being on someone else's highlight tape? I have an answer that came to mind immediately.
Okay.
Josh, where he's the one that is, the victim. Highlight tape where if you jump over Anthony Barr, it's on.
Yeah. Anthony Barr's on your.
Right. He's on your highlight. Whose highlight tape is Josh on? They're not many.
Probably Spagnuolo's.
I was going to say, like, the only thing I can actually think of is the shot of Josh on the sideline after losing in overtime because they didn't win a coin toss.
Yeah.
Is that his most iconic? You're on the wrong end of this highlight? What else is it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of maybe what was the guy's name from the Jets that got, was it 2 interceptions on him or 3?
Okay.
In that week 1 game?
In the opener?
Yeah, is it Whitehead?
Sure.
And he might not have another interception after that?
If you go to YouTube and search that guy's career highlights, you'd see
Jordan
Josh.
Whitehead? Yeah.
You'd see Josh.
Yeah, you would see Josh.
Who else? The other Joshua Allen, Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah, he had that one game.
You kind of wrecked him.
Yep.
It's not many.
No, it is not.
No. He's posterized a lot of people, and he has not often been posterized.
He has posterized. I mean,
who would be a lot of people?
There would be what would be like the most obscure name on Josh Allen's highlight film?
I mean, you've got times where he's running through people, like Kyle Van Noy. He choke slammed to the ground in Miami once.
Yeah.
He points to players when he runs by them. Anyway, 803-0550. Get a call in here, and then I want to get to how we look at the playoff field right now. You said you don't really like the idea that it's said to be easy because the quarterbacks that aren't in it. So we'll get to that in a minute. Jimmy in Miami, though. Hey, Jimmy. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Hey, thanks for taking the call. You guys are talking about Tua, and of course, I'm down here in Miami. It's become my favorite obsession down here, following the Dolphins in the paper and whatever. But you are exactly right. They should have franchise tagged him. He had that real big year, if you remember. He threw for 4,700 yards, and they had like the number one offense in the league. And McDaniel was pushing for Tua to get paid, and they're supposedly pretty close, I guess. But he was pushing to get him paid, and if they would have franchise tagged him last year, and of course this year, I think they could have franchise tagged him 3 times, and they could have made up their mind on what they wanted to do. But there's a crazy stat where this year he's only tried to run 20 times. He had 20 attempts to get a first down, like a play blows up or whatever, and he's got to try to get 5-6 yards, whatever. Yeah. And he's only succeeded once. I mean, when you think how pathetic that is, of course he can't run. They don't want him to run, which is also a limitation. But Josh Allen must run 4 or 5 times a game to try to get a first down. So, I mean, there are severe limitations, and McDaniel should have known that. They know he can't throw in the cold weather and the wind, and now is the worst time of year for him to go up north. So I guess McDaniel's figuring he's probably trying to save his job.
Yeah.
And we think he's a third-string quarterback now behind Zach Wilson. I mean, how bad is that?
Well, I think thanks, Jimmy. I was thinking about this today, actually, like as I'm getting ready to come into work. Whatever, we sometimes just work in analogies or comparisons. I think being a coach in the NFL and your quarterback that you have is like Scrabble, and not everyone has the same letters, right? You could be really good, and if you have no letters to work with, like you're not making big words.
Yeah.
You can pull it out of your you-know-what and still, hey, I got by. Like what I am inclined to defend McDaniel, especially as an offensive mind. Like maybe he ends up being a coordinator. Maybe he's a lame duck in Miami. But he went to Miami, and people thought the quarterback you're working with is not good. And then he made him lead the league in passing.
Yeah.
Yep. Pick any quarterback in the NFL right now that you don't think is that good, and have a coach in like 2 years have him lead the league in passing and try to tell me that coach is an idiot.
Yeah.
Like that's a tough sell for me. So, for McDaniels to push for Tua, I also think there was wasn't there a little bit of pressure to extend Tua based on the head injuries, where I wanted it. I wanted him to get as much guaranteed money as he possibly could, because like this guy is probably not going to last that long.
Nope.
He's putting his body on the line. He's saying, sure, I'm getting concussed, but he's learning to fall, taking jiu-jitsu lessons because he wants to fall better. Like, it is a brutal business and a brutal job. So to give him a lot of money, like, to me, was just like the right thing to do. You're right. Could they have franchise tagged him a bunch of times? Yes. Franchise tag hits are big. You can do it. Would Tua have played on a franchise tag? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
And if you are a Dolphins fan and your quarterback just led the league in passing, and
they would have melted down.
And you're like, can we get our quarterback under contract? Like, no, we're only going to pay him for 1 year. And then he sits out. And like, I think it's easier said than done to say I wouldn't have given him that big, huge contract. There are always a lot of factors.
So you were thinking this morning of analogies when you woke up. Do you know what I was thinking about? What gas station here that's open at 5:30 would have a cigar that I could buy? That's what I was thinking.
Did you find one?
No, I didn't. I did go to 2 gas stations. They didn't really. I mean, there was cigarillos, but it didn't have the same effect. Like I needed a big fat cigar.
Did you look, or did you ask someone there? Excuse me, do you have cigars?
I asked. Yeah, I asked. Yeah. And they were like, no. I was like, okay. But like, I texted you yesterday. I go, I would have really loved to have been better prepared for this, to have like a velvet, like
celebrate.
Yeah.
Well, Should you be celebrating? Does Miami not have a road to maybe finding a better quarterback now?
They are going to be in the hunt for the number 1 overall pick for the next 2 years. At least the next 2 years. Which is why, to me, you're not bringing back Mike McDaniel. Or if they do, they could, but then they're going to fire him next year. So what's the point of bringing him back? Right? I mean, there's just no way they're going to be good. There's no way. None.
Right.
Zero way they'll be good. Because they got to make a decision on Tyreek Hill, too.
Did you see his post?
Oh, certainly did.
Tyreek Hill posted the gif of the
dude giving the peace sign and then
disappearing. If you're terminally online, like many sports fans, you've seen that a lot. He's ready to go. Like, I'm going somewhere else. Yeah. I'm not about to catch passes from Quinn Ewers. I mean, of course, he's out.
He was probably already, he probably didn't have a choice. I think they're probably just going to move. I think they have to move on because of the injury, and might be someone I'd kick the tires on, to be honest. Next year, Tyreek Hill.
And that's not happening. Not Tyreek Hill.
Why?
No.
Why?
Why? Because we're not gonna do the thing where we pay money for a receiver. We're gonna draft. They're gonna do the thing with the draft one.
But what if you could get him?
It's not
really
gonna pay
cheap?
another money. We're not going to do that anymore.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Okay. So you're out on that idea.
I'm out. Yes. Okay. No, not doing that.
Okay.
Not going to do that.
Like, for sure.
Yes.
No wiggle room there.
None.
Okay.
What are they,
too bad.
Letting Curtis Samuel walk and then spending that same money on somebody else? No. No, they're going to draft one. They're going to do. They're going to eat their vegetables and draft one because that's what everybody does. It's what you're supposed to do. It's what they're going to do.
Right. But I feel like you're gaslighting me a little bit.
Why?
Because they're not going to.
Yes, I know they're going to. They definitely are.
Okay. You're lying to yourself.
No. I mean,
as a friend.
Are they going to take a linebacker and a nickel corner and a safety first? Maybe.
Yes.
But they're going to draft one. You know, my voice crack as I'm pleading. They're going to draft
Please.
one. They're going to defend their Super Bowl crown and draft one. And then when the draft pick happens on the TV, it's going to be like, wow, who's going to stop this team now, even though they just won the Super Bowl, which we'll see if they do. To the AFC, because you said you don't like this idea that the AFC is easier this year?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's easier. I think there is less experience at quarterback, and obviously there's no Kansas City Chiefs. But I think you have two of the league's best 4 defenses in the AFC. Maybe the best one. I think the best one in Houston.
Houston's the best.
Denver's right behind.
Denver's very good. The other two are playing tonight.
The
Rams.
Jacksonville's pretty good. Their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
They lead the league in turnovers, I think.
Jacksonville is one of those teams, it's like they won't be taken seriously as a franchise until they make a Super Bowl or maybe get to an AFC Championship game again. Because they have been very good in the last 2 months.
Really good.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has been really good.
Yeah.
And they've got, if you look at that team,
there's talent. There's a lot of talent.
There's not one thing you're like, they don't have that.
No, if you look at EPA offense and defense, they're both good. Jacksonville, they haven't really beaten anybody. You could kind of give Jacksonville
New England treatment?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially in this run where they've gotten hot.
Pretty sure they're going to have to beat Houston twice here down the stretch, no?
No.
Is it just once?
They play them once.
Okay.
They don't play them again. They played Denver, Indy, and Tennessee. They lost to Houston 36-29 in the goofiest loss you've ever seen in your life, and they beat them earlier in the year. That was the fumble play. It was really weird. I think they blew a lead or something.
They've got good receivers.
But anyway,
good run game.
Here's Jacksonville's last 7 games.
Okay.
Since losing to the Rams 35-7.
Wow.
They had a bye week. They beat Vegas by a point in overtime. They lost to Houston. They beat the Chargers 35-6.
Yeah, that was a weird game.
That's good.
Yeah.
Then they beat Arizona, Tennessee,
okay,
Indy, and the Jets.
Okay. Yeah, they've essentially beaten no one.
Indy's good. Indy in that game, it's 36-19.
Yeah, it's not Phillip Rivers.
No, that's the game where Riley Leonard plays because Daniel Jones goes out with an injury. So you played like a half of an Indy team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying, like, if you want to give them the Jags treatment, the
Patriots
treatment, you could probably do that.
Yeah.
They play Denver this week, so that's going to go out the window this week.
Yeah, if they beat Denver,
whoever wins that game is going to be
talked about as
immediately thought of as like a real. This team can do it. I think.
I would agree.
Most likely to. Sorry, let's do it the other way. Least likely of the playoff teams right now to beat the Bills. The playoff teams are, of course, Broncos, Patriots, Bills, Steelers, Jags, Texans, Colts. Can we just throw the Ravens in?
We can throw the Ravens.
Throw the Ravens in instead. Ravens. Least likely to defeat the Buffalo Bills. Let's not go by seeding. Let's just say the Bills had to play all these teams.
The least likely to beat the Buffalo Bills.
Pittsburgh.
Definitely.
By a lot.
Yep.
Second least likely to beat the Bills of the playoff field.
The Chargers.
Their offensive line is so bad.
It's so bad. And I just don't think
if I didn't say the Chargers, I meant to. Their offensive line is so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because of the injuries.
I'm taking the Chargers number 2.
Chargers. Yeah. We're kind of treating this neutral field too. Just like just matchups.
Yep.
Okay, Chargers. I won't fight you on that.
Okay.
Third least likely to beat the Bills.
Baltimore.
If they make it.
Yes. But we're assuming they're making it over Indianapolis.
Yeah, I agree. Baltimore. Next. The teams left are Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Texans. Least likely. Most likely. Broncos, Patriots, Texans, Jags. Of that group, which is least likely.
I think the Jags is the next team.
I think the answer is New England.
I didn't want to say it.
I think the answer is New England.
I'm surprised you said it.
Listen, I think New England is good and has a really bright future. They might be a little out in front of what they should be right now.
Head of their skis, yeah.
Yeah. I think the Bills would have any answer for New England's defense right now. The same way they did back in like the perfect game year where late in the season they went up there and didn't punt, and then they met in the playoffs and they didn't punt. Like, I think the Bills would have all of the answers for the Patriots' offense.
So then the Jaguars are next.
It comes to Jaguars, Broncos, Texans.
I think Jaguars are next.
Do I want to agree with that?
Out of those 3 teams?
Which offense is most likely to be like unstoppable? Of those 3. Which offense is most likely to put up 40 on this defense?
The Jags.
Right. That I feel like of those 3 teams, there's a balance there.
I don't disagree. Then it would have to be Denver. Here.
Okay.
Denver.
Either way, you really are Texans fear bunker still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very good. I think they're a bad matchup for the Bills.
I think it's fair.
I think they're a bad matchup. I think the Texans are the most physical team in football. They're mean. I wouldn't want to play the Texans. But I do think the Texans can do the Bills some favors. Because right now, the Texans are the 6th seed? 7th seed?
Yeah.
And the Bills are what? The 7th seed?
The Texans right now are the 7th seed.
Okay.
And the Bills are the 6th.
And they would be playing New England.
Right now, the Bills are going to Jacksonville.
Okay.
Texans at Patriots, Chargers at Steelers.
Is it? That could really line up that every wildcard team wins.
Could. I also think the Steelers could beat the Chargers.
I think so too.
The Chargers are. I think the Chargers are legit if they're healthy, and they're just not.
They're just not healthy.
Yeah, their defense is.
They
good.
got a running game. They've got receivers.
Yeah, but no tackles. I mean, you're in trouble.
They have no tackles.
Fun exercise. Dave in Lakeview. Hey, Dave. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, my question is about Alan Lazard. I know you said you don't want to pay somebody next year, but the Jets are still paying him. He took his termination stuff. I mean, our receivers just are not producing, I think maybe you could put Josh Palmer or somebody on IR to create the roster spot. And Matthew Judon, we don't have any defensive ends right now. He played 40% of the snaps. He wasn't great, but he's got to be better than T.J. Sanders playing defensive end. What do you think?
All right, Dave. Thanks. I don't know what Alan Lazard does that anything the Bills players don't already have. Like, I've got almost nothing for him. Should I? When I said not pay anybody next year, what I really meant was, like, why would you sign one for like $13 million in free agency when you can just draft one?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy. But Alan Lazard is like a possession receiver that
They've got 3 Alan Lazards already.
Alan Lazard, as recently, like Matt Harmon, reception perception, who I use a lot he charts receivers. In 2022, Alan Lazard was a bottom 10 percentile guy separating it against man and zone and press. Like, there's nothing there that I have any interest in.
You have him. His name's Keon Coleman. You have that guy already.
How big is Alan Lazard?
He's big. He's like 6'6".
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's big.
Is Coleman getting benched this week? Or scratched? Not benched, but scratched. Gabe back in instead. I was really surprised.
I was also
Gabe
surprised.
came out of the lineup. Really surprised.
I mean,
not that it's going to make a big, huge material difference. I was just kind of surprised. Like, that's the guy that they love and they want to reward hard work. And I was just surprised.
I wonder too how long the Brandon Cooks thing lasts. He's not really been good.
I mean, the drop hurt.
Yeah. He is hurt as well. He was on the injury report with a shoulder injury. But he is old. He's not as good as he used to be. He's just not.
Aren't we all old
Yes.
and not as good as we used to be?
Yes.
That describes a lot of things.
Yeah, he's been underwhelming so far. Not really sure what I expected.
Then again,
from
he's
him,
like getting separation.
Yeah.
That's happening. If he just caught the one against New England, we might be saying, like, well, great new addition. You think he could potentially find his way out?
Maybe.
I'd be surprised.
It depends how much they really care about keeping Keon Coleman in the lineup.
Right. Because I think he is potentially serviceable, like usable. Yeah. And I don't really think that about Coleman on the outside.
No, I would be surprised if he, like, I had
what they need, at least. Yeah.
I had this conversation on postgame on Sunday, and I was like, yeah, he did have one good block in that game on Christian Gonzalez, but, like, what's he doing for me right now? He drew a pass interference penalty that he should have caught. Probably should have caught that ball.
803-0550. Paul on the other side. Sabres game night, 7:30. A black and red game, and it's going to be on ESPN also, nationally televised. Or it's TNT tonight. TNT, ESPN? I think it's ESPN tonight.
I think it's ESPN as well.
All right, ESPN tonight. 803-0550, the phone number. If you want to join us, we'll get Paul's thoughts on yesterday's practice. The owner was at practice yesterday, which I think is something that hasn't happened a lot. So the owner was there. Lindy Ruff spoke with the media and players, their reactions to Jarmo Kekalainen getting the job and being the new man in charge. So Paul joins us next here on WGR. To the point about Von, Jake, I hope that deal wouldn't lead you to, like, well, I don't ever want to,
make that mistake twice.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to go ahead and get too aggressive. I'm afraid of that. Sometimes it's not going to work out. Sometimes it is. Maybe you'd be a little bit more reluctant to sign a guy of his age because guys break down.
Yep.
But I hope they're not afraid of a big move, and I don't think that they are. I think that this offseason, if they fall short this offseason, who knows how they'll approach it? Who knows how it'll ultimately end? But I think it'll be an offseason with a big move, no matter what. They're gonna want to add somebody, and I think they'll be more willing to do it than They have been in some time, maybe since the Von deal.
It will also be, if they don't get to a Super Bowl this year, there will be more scrutiny than ever.
Well, you'll have to justify or come to terms with it's not just a Mahomes problem.
No, that's right. But it's been.
Because the Mahomes problem has been you can easily say, like, it's just a Mahomes problem.
Yeah.
Well, not this year. Now it's going to be somebody new. If whoever beats you, if you don't win it, somebody new beats you.
Cole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal, his 21-day window, hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket like a Brandon Codrington, right, even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple of snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Well, the bigger picture is they have 6 wide receivers as it is. You add Mecole Hardman to the mix, now you have 7 wide receivers. So I agree with you. You could simply say he doesn't count. We're counting him as just a guy totally different, totally separate as a wide receiver, and that's fine, but he's still on there, and they are going to have to make a roster move if and when he does get activated. So he did begin his 21-day window, which means the team has 21 days to activate him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend, though. I mean, the Bills are last in the league in punt return yardage. They're first or second in kickoff return yardage. They have Ray Davis is leading the league now in kick return average, but punt returns is still hurting them as far as field position. And I think it's just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It will be the first game under general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck drop is set for 7:30 tonight. You can catch all of the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. If you missed any of Kekalainen's introductory presser or his appearance on the Jeremy and Joe show yesterday, you can find the audio on demand at WGR550.com. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, Mecole Hardman Jr. with a calf injury, who has had his 21-day practice window open. We're all limited participants. Dalton Kincaid with a knee injury, Deion Dawkins with an illness, Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, and Matt Prater with a right quad injury all did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, The Rams are in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 interceptions. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Paul Hamilton. He has the facts to back up his opinions. On WGR Sports Radio 550.
Paul, in a moment tonight, Sabres and Flyers. There's also Seahawks and Rams tonight from Seattle. And one quick note on that game that's kind of interesting. The winner of the game controls their destiny for the 1 seed, the division and the 1 seed. But add to that, if the Seattle Seahawks win, the Niners also control their own destiny because they play the Seahawks. So the Niners rooting for Seattle because if Seattle wins, both Seattle and the Niners control their own destiny for the 1 seed. If the Rams win, they control their own destiny for the 1 seed, and they would finish out with the Falcons and the Cardinals, the Rams. So they might have the best road. And if they win that game tonight, they're in the driver's seat in a big way. Paul Hamilton joining us. He's on the Western Hotline. Sabres and Flyers tonight. 7:30 game, the first in the Jarmo Kekalainen era. And Paul's appearance brought to you by Relax Honda. Relax, we got this. Paul, good morning.
Hello, guys. How are you?
How was the tone at practice yesterday? I mean, was it overly obvious people are refreshed? Is it just a normal day where people are talking about the change? What was your read of the room?
It was kind of like a normal day. I mean, the players that we spoke with, which are the leadership group, the captains, were kind of down with by saying, it's our fault that we got this guy fired. I mean, that means we didn't do the job, and that's on us. And thanked Adams for bringing him to Buffalo and bringing him to the Sabres, and Thompson thanked him for his contract, and he said he believed in him when others didn't, and allowed him to kind of grow into what he is right now in the NHL. And even Darlene said, look, GMs can only do so much, but he goes, it's on us. We're the ones on the ice, not them. And they all just kind of felt bad that they thought they let Kevin Adams down.
Well, taking that personally, I mean, now they have a chance, I guess, to kind of start fresh with a new GM. And Paul, I wonder how many players have do they go to Jarmo and meet with him individually, right? You have exit meetings with a GM. Do you have entrance meetings? Would he want to sit down with each guy and just kind of talk about their game?
Well, he's been around, so it's not like he hasn't been in the room chatting with people before. As Lindy Ruff said, he was in the coach's office every day, with him and Adams, and they would all talk hockey and talk about the players and talk about this and talk about that. So he said it's not really, strange to have him around anyway. So, and Ruff said he didn't know him before that, but now he knows him really well, and knows what he likes about hockey, what he doesn't, about part of the game. And he said it was good to have him around because it was just another set of eyes and another voice to talk about what he sees and what he doesn't. And but as far as the players, Darlene said it was very short. He came in, he addressed the team. It wasn't individually. It was kind of quick, and he let them know. And as Darlene said, he goes, I heard what he told you guys yesterday. He goes, that was basically it. He came into the room and said that. And, now Darlene being the captain, I think they'll talk a little bit more as needed or as things go on. Because I think Adams met with Darlene, not a lot, but I think, when needed, and talk to the captain. So I think Jarmo would probably be the same way.
Paul, do you think there's anything to read from tonight's starting goalie? They've had time off, right? They can kind of reset the rotation if they want to, if it's going to be UPL and Alex Lyon. And I know Kekalainen, he said he leaves lineups to the coaches, but he did say with us, he might tell them what he's thinking or give some input. Is there anything more to read based on who starts tonight, do you think?
No, the only thing you can read into it is he's won 3 in a row. And so he's on a roll, so that Lindy Ruff feels he's the best guy to get a win. I mean, he let him kind of get on a roll. He played in 4 straight games, didn't start them all, but played in them. And Lyon hadn't won a game since October, the Toronto game, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he wins 3 in a row. So I think Lindy Ruff would be insane not to put him in net and keep going with him. So, that's where that decision lies. I don't think it has anything to do with GM or Kekalainen or Adams or anybody else.
Lyon, the goalie for both the all three, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle. The Sabres come in on a 3-game win streak over the Western Conference. It's right after giving up 7 to Calgary for the Sabres, right? Like, he went into that game in relief. Paul, with regard to where they are on the 3 goalie rotation, they don't have to answer this question yet because Colton Ellis is hurt. What is the latest timeline for when that might become a problem again?
They don't give timelines, but I mean, Kekalainen did say we're going to have to make a decision here.
Yeah,
that's coming up. So, because he mentioned just what you did. Well, right now Ellis is injured, and the update with him is he's still in concussion protocol, and he'll be reevaluated on Friday, tomorrow. So we'll see where that goes. But he did admit that they have to make a decision and they have to figure this out. So that a timeline didn't come, but it's coming. I mean, I would say sooner than later.
Paul Hamilton, his appearance brought to you by Ray Laxonda. And finally, Paul, like the Yarmo side of things, Lindy's take on all of it. And I saw he expressed the same kind of thing, like disappointment. He felt like he let Kevin Adams down. But there's been plenty of speculation about Lindy Ruff's future, and that will continue for a little while here. So what's Lindy's tone on any sort of conversation around that?
And he was asked if it was brought up with Terry Pegula, because he had a conversation with him. He said, nope, that wasn't brought up at all. It was just, when Terry Pegula had made this decision, which Lindy Ruff was not part of, he let Lindy Ruff know about his decision. And he said that was the point of their conversation. And, as far as what he talking with Kekalainen just said, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Type of a scenario. So he said it had not been brought up with either Pegula or with Kekalainen.
Do you either share the opinion or at least respect the reality of the idea that for Kekalainen, he said he has full autonomy, that for people to truly believe that more things have to come, you don't have to share it, but do you understand how people might say that?
Yeah, I mean, and more things. I mean, you may see him start filling out the hockey department with maybe some people he worked with in Columbus. Some people he trusts, and I wouldn't know who we're talking about here, but whether we're talking about scouting or things like that, you may see something, because in any sport, when somebody takes over, they like to have their own people around them. So who are those people? Who are people that he really trusts and that he liked being around last time he was a GM? So I think those are the types of moves that we might see start trickling into the organization as we move forward here.
Only additions, though? Not like changes?
Oh, no, you could see some subtraction, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's gotten to know people. I mean, he's been in meetings and with the hockey department, things like that. So he has seen people. So, no, absolutely. Now, whether he would do that in the middle of a season, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if he would or he wouldn't. If he was thinking of making those types of changes, he might wait till the end of the year. So that I don't know. But, I think you could expect additions and subtractions.
Paul Hamilton on the Western Hotline. Tonight it's Sabres and Flyers from KeyBank Center, a 7:30 puck drop. And the playoffs, Kekalainen, one thing he did say is he firmly believes this team can make the playoffs this year. Do you feel like it would be worth pointing to a, small goal? Like Lindy had been doing the 6 out of 10 points. Could I get to New Year's and, you've made up, I don't know, half the distance? That might be tough. Like it's a long road when you have to climb over everybody, Paul. They are 7 points out of the final spot that is a playoff spot. That's wild card. And the division third place is also 39 points. So I don't know, can I get within 5 points in a month? Like, I feel like with Kekalainen, what I would want, without saying anything about like tanking, but I'd want, once they decide if they're going to think they can make it or not, I'd want a bold move in one way or the other.
Yeah, and well, the thing is too, we've talked about the 3-game winning streak, and you've taken 6 out of 6 points, and here you are still in last place in the conference. They've also won 9 out of 15, which isn't a bad record.
Yeah.
You know? And where has it gotten them? They have not passed one team, and they've won 9 out of 15 games. So that just shows you how difficult it is just to pass one team. You know, and so it's not necessarily, well, they're 4 points behind the Rangers, who are, you know, four notches up in the standings, and that's all fine and good. And you might catch the Rangers, but did you catch Columbus, Ottawa, and Toronto too? You know, so that just shows you how difficult it is to pass teams when you're this far down in the standings. Not the point total behind. If they were 7 points behind the Devils and they were in 9th place, I'd say they're okay. They can make up 7 points on the Devils and get into the playoffs. But, you know, when they're 7 points behind the Devils and have to get past 8 teams, and I think it just shows you. I think 9 out of 15 games for wins is good, but it's not good enough to even pass one team yet.
We'll be listening tonight, Paul. 7:30 puck drop from KeyBank Center, and maybe a little bit extra of juice in the arena tonight for the start of a new regime. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how the fans are, and see how the team is and how they come out on the ice. It'll be interesting.
Thanks, Paul.
Take care.
Flyers tonight.
And Michael Kesselring back in the lineup tonight.
Right. He's another one we've not really been able to see an extended run, it feels like. Missed the start of the season, missed time again.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's have it. Let's find your way, I guess. Lyon getting another bit of run here. Like, maybe that's for the best. At the start of the season, he got hot for them.
Yeah.
And then he kind of fell out of the spot. Maybe he can get it back. 803-0550. Jeremy and Joe. Nate's in for Joe today. It's a Thursday. Rams and Seahawks tonight.
2 straight games for Zach Benson, by the way, goals. I know one was an empty net, but don't let him get hot. Don't let him get hot.
Don't let him get hot.
Don't let him get hot.
Sure.
Or do get hot. That'd be nice, actually, if he could score some goals.
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Alex Tuck, too. Tuck's in like that contract year / deadline year / I mean, he's certainly in the driver's seat. The Sabres are openly talking about how important it is to get him back. And, whether it's numbers or see if Kekalainen gets moving on that.
It was interesting to see the numbers get talked about because we, up until this point, had not heard the numbers.
Which, by the way, it's worth pointing out. Who leaked that?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Adams?
I would assume.
Like, well, here's what he wants.
Who else knew that?
This is why it's not done yet. Here's what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he leaked that on the way out. Well, here's a grenade.
Unless it's Tuck's agent that says
No,
that.
it was Drager said it was Adams.
Adams told him? Okay, there you go.
Drager said on TSN, Adams told me this is what Tuck's looking for.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, because Tuck's agent wouldn't really have any benefit of leaking the number.
No, they wouldn't want to get that out there.
Sure, right. But he said if he said Kevin Adams told me, then that's that. The benefit of leaking the number, if you're Tuck's agent, would be like, this is not a crazy ask. It's not 14.
I think that's tough with where the numbers are right now to have any number that's really what you're asking for.
You're getting your usual your yearly NFL sticker shock, except it's happening in the NHL. Every single year in the NFL, that guy got that money. So, yes, the cap went up $40 million again. Yes, that's how it's going to work. 803-0550 to join us here on WGR.
Cole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal, his 21-day window, hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket like a Brandon Codrington, right, even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple of snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Well, the bigger picture is they have 6 wide receivers as it is. You add McCole Hardman to the mix, now you have 7 wide receivers. So I agree with you. You could simply say he doesn't count. We're counting him as just a guy totally different, totally separate as a wide receiver, and that's fine, but he's still on there, and they are going to have to make a roster move if and when he does get activated. So he did begin his 21-day window, which means the team has 21 days to activate him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend, though. I mean, the Bills are last in the league in punt return yardage. They're they're first or second in kickoff return yardage. They have Ray Davis is leading the league now in kick return average, but punt returns is still hurting them as far as field position. And I think it's just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I've been... I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? In the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too.
Yeah,
Detroit and Minnesota. I mean,
the Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're
on the road.
On the road, not just for one game, but you're going to be on the road the whole time. Whole time, which I guess it could fall away where you don't. 1 week until Christmas Day. Family update. Advent calendar for the kids. The goal was, I have a pair of 4-year-olds. The plan was, one was a Hot Wheels Advent calendar. My daughter got a Wicked Advent calendar, a bunch of stuff like from Wicked. And the goal was, I said to my wife when we got these, I'm like, listen, this is going to work. This is going to teach these kids the concept of waiting for literally anything. We're going to teach them patience. You get one, open this today. You want the next one? It's tomorrow, right? Nate, kids, patience, hard. 18 days in, work like a charm. It's been great. They wake up.
We are 18 days in.
They wake up. They want that. They get it. And then they know nothing until tomorrow. Just the mere concept. What a victory. What a win.
We had a beer.
I know you're all
Advent
very,
calendar.
very, very invested in this.
We did a beer Advent calendar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Although it's
do you
like,
wait every day or do you sometimes dip in?
I did do 2 days in a row. But here's the problem.
You're worse than the 4-year-olds.
Here's the problem.
These two have decided they understand. Like, no, you can't have one until tomorrow.
It's like, right, it's candy and trinkets, right?
Yeah.
It's a little different than drinking for 24 straight days.
It's one.
Yeah, it is just one. It's true. But then, like, you know.
You can always just open it and put it in the fridge. The idea is that it's the reveal.
Yeah.
Did we not already know that Nate was worse than the 4-year-olds, though?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I guess
That's a good point.
It's not that big of a surprise.
Yeah, listen, well, in fairness, I didn't do it 2 days ahead. I just forgot 2 days.
Oh.
And I went back and.
Actually, that's allowed.
That's
Okay.
fine.
That's
yeah,
fine.
I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, you can skip
I'm
7
mature.
and then just open 7.
Yeah, I'm mature.
But you can't go forward.
No, you can't go
That's
forward.
how
I do
Advent
agree with
calendars-
that. You can't go
That's
forward.
how Advent calendars work.
Yeah.
803-0550, 1-888-552-550. Happy Thursday. Thursday Night Football tonight. Sam Darnold, can he bounce back from a dreadful performance against the Rams in the first game and do any better?
I would guess because I'm not going to start him in my fantasy lineup, so I assume he's going to go bananas. But if he's in my lineup, you could assume he's getting 4 to 5 points.
The last time these two teams played, he went 29 of 44 with 4 interceptions.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one. 1.8 points or something like that in fantasy. Yeah.
Not great.
Not good.
Adjusted net yards per attempt of 2.
Wow.
It's pretty bad. Picked off 4 times. He didn't take a sack, but not too good. You want to know a funny stat for tonight's game? We're going to put together our fantastic 4-way parlay, and I was so ready to go with my new favorite prop bet for this game, and I can't do it because the value's not good enough. Matthew Stafford under a half-yard rushing. It's a great bet. It's incredible fun to watch one of these statue quarterbacks and just go for under a half yard. It's minus 250 for under a half yard.
Wow.
Yeah, can't touch it. Now I want to go the other way. Imagine watching this whole game, hoping that Stafford just takes off for like 6, because you might need it to protect from the kneel downs, which of course can take the plus money on over a half yard. I don't know if I'm ready to live that life of rooting for Matthew Stafford to run, because I'd taken the unders a couple times.
I'll tell you what, we're not going to get anywhere near is Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet.
Why is that?
Because they are a nightmare. I have Charbonnet in one league, and I have Kenneth Walker in another.
Isn't it pretty obvious
They're a nightmare.
Isn't it obvious that Kenneth Walker is good?
Yes.
And Charbonnet is not good?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're a nightmare. I don't know what to do with Kenneth Walker. I can't play him. Can't play him.
Fantasy playoffs for a lot of you out there this weekend. Maybe you're going in afraid.
If you're not, you don't have a soul.
I'm waking up in cold sweats about what
Yeah.
Achan's going to do to Cincinnati, because I'm playing against him in a league that I really want to win. And I'm just
and they're probably going to run the ball more with the rookie quarterback
with
playing.
Quinn Ewers. Great,
Yeah.
great. Awesome.
And he's probably going to dump the ball down a ton.
Right. He's going to have 15 catches.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
75 points for Achan. Hope I can overcome it. All right. 803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. Sabres and Flyers tonight. Bills and Browns on Sunday. We're talking about it with you here on WGR.
Cole Hardman's practice window opening yesterday, Sal,
Yep.
his 21-day window, hasn't been activated yet, at least from what I've seen. Have you gotten in any clues as to what the plan is there? I think it complicates their roster numbers in terms of receivers at 7.
It does. From the standpoint of just having numbers, I agree, Nate. Now, if you just want to put him in a separate bucket, like a Brandon Codrington, right? Even though he's a DB, you just want to put him in a separate bucket and say, well, he's not really a receiver. He's just going to be a return man. You could do that. But he did actually have a couple of snaps at wide receiver when he played that one game when he got hurt. And they already are, they only activated 5 wide receivers last game. Excuse me. So I just wonder, where he fits in on the roster as far as numbers are concerned, because I think last week there's a good debate on Gabe Davis versus Keon Coleman and why Gabe was the guy that was out and not Keon Coleman and who should it be. Well, the bigger picture is they have 6 wide receivers as it is. You add McCole Hardman to the mix, now you have 7 wide receivers. So I agree with you. You could simply say he doesn't count. We're counting him as just a guy totally different, totally separate as a wide receiver, and that's fine, but he's still on there, and they are going to have to make a roster move if and when he does get activated. So he did begin his 21-day window, which means the team has 21 days to activate him. I wouldn't be surprised if it's this weekend, though. I mean, the Bills are last in the league in punt return yardage. They're they're first or second in kickoff return yardage. They have Ray Davis is leading the league now in kick return average, but punt returns is still hurting them as far as field position. And I think it's just an area they really want to make sure they're better at heading into the playoffs.
But Tua and quarterback contracts and every person that wants to say, well, the lesson is you never pay that guy that contract.
The Dolphins definitely shouldn't have, but they kind of had to.
I want to ask in every one of these questions, what should the team have done instead?
Yeah.
What are you? We are here in Buffalo where we don't have to worry about this problem, and we get to sit up on the the ivory tower and say,
that is a good point.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. What should these teams do? This conversation I want to really have with as many people as they can. Let's talk it out. What would happen? The NFL GMs wise up and no longer operate under the next quarterback to get paid is going to set the market. Instead, we're going to hold firm, and guys are not going to get big money if we don't think they're good. Let's play it out. What happens? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it's possible. Can I be honest with you? In hindsight, who figured out how to do this the right way? The Commanders with Kirk Cousins.
Who they franchised twice.
And then let walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just wasn't good enough to go beyond those. But you have the franchise tag in your back pocket twice. Now, this is where I think, to me, this conversation is fascinating. Because I guess you have to determine how much better is Dak Prescott than Kirk Cousins. I think probably a lot better.
Yeah.
And Dallas screwed it up by franchise tagging him. He got tagged twice, correct? He definitely got tagged once,
I think he
for
got
sure.
tagged once.
And they ended up paying a way above market value by waiting another 18 months. But Dallas does that with everybody. So they're just but to me, I look back and I say, in the moment, everyone is like, what is Washington doing? Clearly this is the best quarterback you're going to have. You drafted him, you sign him. And I think that there is just such a it's like dating, right? It's like, what's the most logical next step? We've been dating for 4 years. We got to get married.
The Sabres in action tonight against the Flyers. It'll be the first game under newly appointed general manager Jarmo Kekalainen. Puck drop set for 7:30. You'll be able to catch all of the game action right here on WGR Sports Radio 550. The Bills held a walkthrough practice yesterday. Christian Benford with a toe injury, Terrell Bernard with an elbow injury, McCole Hardman Jr. dealing with a calf injury, who had his 21-day practice window open, were all limited participants. Dalton Kincaid with a knee injury, Deion Dawkins dealing with an illness, Jordan Phillips with an ankle injury, and Matt Prater dealing with a right quad injury, all did not participate. That's your Barnes Firm Injury Report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured? For help, call 1-800-8-million. The Bills gear up to play the Browns this Sunday with kickoff set for 1 o'clock in Cleveland. Around the NFL, the Rams in Seattle for Thursday Night Football. Seattle struggled in the last matchup and looked to bounce back from giving up 4 picks earlier. Kickoff is at 8:15 on Amazon Prime. In other news, the Dolphins released edge rusher Matthew Judon. USC wide receiver Mekhi Lemon has declared for the 2026 NFL Draft. Rams wide receiver Devontae Adams, dealing with a hamstring injury, is doubtful against the Seahawks. Lamar Jackson with an illness did not practice yesterday. Nick Chubb with his rib injury was a limited participant in yesterday's practice for the Texans, and Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers. He will be the emergency third string behind Zach Wilson. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Joe Cali for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming,
11 pipers piping,
10 lords a leaping,
9 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
7 swans a swimming,
6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds,
3 French hens,
2 turtle doves, and a partridge in the pear tree. Have a happy and safe holidays.
Your 2008 Buffalo Bills 12 Days of Christmas, that I believe the full. Okay, I'm watching it again to see if I can get all 12. There's some Langston Walker. There's Leotis McKelvin. There's Robert Royal.
Oh.
Paul Posluszny, George Wilson. Who sings 5 Golden Rings? That I don't know.
I'm not positive on that.
I don't know either. Here's a guy that does not look like he belongs in the NFL, respectfully. I don't know who that is. Yeah. I don't have everyone by face.
It's been a while.
It's definitely I definitely got Langston Walker in there.
Like, you would have had it then. Like in 2008, you would have had it.
Yeah. The full rundown of people. Marshawn's in there. Leotis. Posluszny. I'm looking through like the comments to see if every one of them tagged every player. Anyway. Posluszny. Bills Browns.
I wore his spikes in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brian Scott on 5 Golden Rings.
Wait,
okay.
You didn't know that? You didn't by face? You didn't know that?
He's like tilting back and you can't really see it all the way.
Okay.
The one I really got at Chris Brown from play-by-play man Chris Brown texted me that. Chris, while you're at it, maybe I shouldn't say the one guy that doesn't look like he belongs in the NFL, but it's the guy that's singing like the 4 Calling Birds. Who's that? Oh, there's Trent.
Oh, that's right, Trent.
Trent's in it.
Good Lord.
Marshawn, McKelvin, Posluszny. Here's another one. I just don't know everybody. Anyway, good morning. Happy Thursday. Bills and Browns on Sunday, and it's a get out, get healthy game, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
It's a get out, get healthy game. Next week will be interesting because next week will be, depending on how it all falls. If the Patriots win/lose against the Ravens, kind of makes it so if they lose against the Ravens, I should say, then the Bills-Eagles game is irrelevant for the AFC East race. Doesn't matter if they win or lose. If the Ravens were to beat the Patriots, the Patriots were to beat the Ravens, the Bills will have to keep pace.
Yeah, they'll have to keep winning.
Yeah, the Bills have to run the table if New England's going to keep winning.
You think?
Other than that one loss to Miami or the Jets.
You think you think the Patriots win Sunday?
Against the Ravens?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they lose. And I would caution against anybody that just buries them if they do.
Okay. What if it's not
prime time?
What if they beat them up? I just don't think they have that in them. But
prime time in Baltimore. Last time the Bills played there, they lost 35-10, and they were good.
Yeah,
there was a good Bills team that got hammered in a primetime game in Baltimore. And Baltimore's defense is coming back into form.
Would you like to see the Patriots? I mean, effectively, it doesn't end their season because the Steelers are still there, but it effectively ends their wild card hope.
Baltimore's? I'm not afraid of Baltimore.
Either am I. I'm also not afraid of Baltimore.
Not worried about Baltimore. I know that the matchup sometimes is bad, but I'm just not worried about Baltimore. What's the alternative? The 7th spot. I guess you should worry about Baltimore because if it's Baltimore, Indy, or it's not the Chiefs.
No.
It's Baltimore or Indy or who?
I think that's it.
That's it.
I think that's it.
In that case, I'm worried about Baltimore.
Yeah. Out of Baltimore or Indy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the playoff picture in the AFC, it's pretty much locked in. We pretty much know who it's going to be outside of one team.
One team. And that's the Ravens. Ravens and Steelers.
It might even already be locked in. Because Baltimore and Indy are both on the outside. Like right now, Houston's the 7. So if Baltimore gets in, it's because somebody falls out. Who's that going to be? It could be the Chargers. Or, of course, they could win their division.
Yeah. So
basically, it comes down to is the AFC North getting 2 teams?
What are the Steelers' record right now?
The Steelers are 8-6.
They're 8-6 with Lions, Browns, and Ravens.
Right. They're going to lose to the Lions.
I think so.
So that's a 7th loss. And
I
Baltimore
beat the Browns.
Right. Yeah, the AFC North is not getting 2 teams.
No.
Right.
No, that's correct.
So right now, Colts and Ravens are out. It could be.
And the Ravens 7 wins?
7-7.
7-7.
Yeah. The other part of this is like the 7 seed. Usually when we're talking about this, it's from the Bills as a 2. Who do you not want to see? There was a couple of years ago, like, I don't want to see the Colts, right? 2 years ago, the Colts, they look like they run the ball so well, and then they just missed.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to worry about it.
That was the year they had Carson Wentz, correct?
Maybe. And we were worried about that.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but we talked about it a lot. Like, well, don't get that team
because it's the matchup.
Right. And now, if the Bills indeed are going to be a wild card, which
it's increasingly likely.
It's likely. Figuring out the 7, like, that doesn't matter. You're not seeing that team until the AFC Championship game. No matter if the Bills are 5,
they're not playing the 7.
Right. You don't just
the best you're going to do is the AFC Championship.
A complete non-factor.
And man, if that could be the case, and you would host it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you could say today, you sign up for being the 5 seed and hosting Baltimore in the AFC Championship game.
Well, Baltimore would have to knock out. Baltimore's only the 7 if they knock out the Texans right now,
which they're not going to,
or the Chargers right now. The Chargers are 10-4. Yeah, so
the Chargers aren't going to lose enough.
We're pretty much at.
Yeah, we're at. It's either they're the 4th seed or they're out.
Right. 803-0550.
Yeah, I don't mind Baltimore.
Not afraid of them.
No.
Not thinking about New England wanting them to beat Baltimore. Like the Ravens' playoff chances right now. You know, the game from the start of the season, I thought the Ravens would be a great team.
Me too.
This year. And
they have a very good roster.
They do have a good roster, but their quarterback has just not been right. He's not the same guy.
Yeah, I don't know. And on top of that, like they traded their best pass rusher for a 3rd safety. Always been good for the Chargers, and they have nobody to rush the passer. That was a very puzzling trade. They got a Loie Gilman so that they could play Kyle Hamilton closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But that defense...
They shut out Burrow last week.
They did shut out Burrow. Doesn't help the case that if you're a Bengals fan, which I forget who I was talking to, that I said, it was Ben Baby of ESPN. I said, dude, I don't care what you say. The Bengals get up for the Bills. He's like, no. I'm like, no. They get up to play for the Bills. And that kind of confirms my point of that was probably the best the Bengals have played all year on offense. And then they just get shut out the next week.
Yeah.
I mean, they got manhandled by, I don't know what, a bad Ravens team? A middling Ravens team?
Well, it's not a good look for the Bills defense, I don't think. I mean, which again, like
no.
I think are we all torn on the Bills defense?
Torn how?
Torn in that we know it's probably not that good, but they're getting good results because of the coaching, because of the adjustments, because of a handful of players making plays. Is it a good defense? I think not really. But is it good enough to get the job done? Maybe. I mean, I'm going into these games. This is not one of them. Cleveland's not one of them. I have high expectations for the defense this week because they're playing such a bad offense. But your first playoff game, you go to Pittsburgh. I think you're going to be fine. Your defense was great against Pittsburgh the first time. It's another offense that I think is kind of bad. Give me a good offense. Who's a good offense? Jacksonville.
Yep.
I'm going into that game, Nate, saying just give me 4 stops. If I have 4 stops, I'm hoping Allen can carry me to where I need to go. 4. Any more than 4, and I'm doing well.
I was listening to you and Joe's segment the other day when you were talking about that, about all you really need with Josh Allen is 4 stops.
If the Bills' offense is rolling as it should,
yes,
or as it gets to often in the December, January time of year, yeah. Like how many stops should you expect? I like to point this out. If you can't count on turnovers, which you kind of can't, and especially in the playoffs, as the teams get better, I think they're less likely to turn it over quite often.
Yep.
The best defense in the entire league forces 5.5 punts per game. The Bills force 4. Like that's doing the job, even though we know that they have warts, and we worry about whether or not they should get Matthew Judon off the street because of what's going on at the defensive end. Like, if Bosa were hurt, you might go get Judon because you want some other veteran out there. I don't know. Is the defense good enough to get it done? I had this question with Joe the other day. Mm-hmm. I said, if they were to win the Super Bowl with this defense, what would the takeaway be? Because last year the Eagles win it, and it was, that's there it is now. That's how you do it. You win, but you rush 4.
Yeah.
You just draft up front, rush 4, and that's what everybody should be doing now. If the Bills won it with this defense, what would they say? What would the NFL narrative be?
Quarterback and being able to run the football.
Alien quarterback and run the ball. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure the entire league would say you don't need wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hey, just have the worst wide receiver room in the league, and you'll win a Super Bowl. I don't think that will be the consensus on that one.
I don't know if it's the worst. Yesterday, Darryl Ryder for Cleveland said they have the worst.
They have Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's better than anybody on the Bills roster, though. Jerry Jeudy would be a 1,000-yard receiver.
I guess he makes real big mistakes like every week.
Sure.
He also said, by the way, Darryl Ryder, really interesting interview with Show with the Bulldog yesterday, if you missed it, that he says the national perception of Shedeur Sanders is a total lie. It's totally manufactured. Says he's a good kid. He's confident, but he has a good head on his shoulders. And the idea that he's like some sort of problem is this invention of the national industrial take complex. That's my phrase, but I thought it was interesting. Zach in Buffalo. What's up, Zach? Good morning.
Morning, guys. Yeah, I like this discussion a lot. I've been thinking about it over the last few weeks, obviously. I think Bills at the 5 seed, I've kind of thought it's almost more ideal than them being the 2 at some points. I'm not worried about playing the AFC North. I think Baltimore kind of feels like a little bit of a boogeyman, but they're familiar with that team, if nothing else. I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Jacksonville this year, but I think they're kind of getting a little bit hot, and they've got some good players on that team. I would not love to go there in the first round. I think that is a potentially scary team. I think, to me, the biggest perk of all this is if Houston is in at the 7 and they go to New England right off the rip, even if they lose that game, I think, that Houston defense is going to bang up that New England offense pretty good. I think if they can, I'm not saying players are going to get hurt or anything, but if they can just wear down that team a bit in the first round, I think that's awesome. But again, I think 5 seed is kind of great. And I think that's a good chance that they could be playing a home game in the divisional or even the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. It's kind of time, for the last couple of weeks, it's been the New York Times playoff machine. It's kind of time to go to the ESPN playoff machine, which is slightly different. For those of you that don't, like some of us might, play with these all day, the ESPN playoff machine, the way that it's different is you just pick the games, and then it tells you the outcome. And not just pick your own team's games and odds, but what I wonder is, if the Bills win out, which I think the Bills
have a good chance
I think they will do that.
Yeah.
And let's say that the Jags win out and the Texans win out. Like, is this what I'm getting at is Houston looks like they're going to win out. Houston's schedule is Raiders,
Chargers,
Colts. They should win out.
And that would, be them 12 wins for them?
Right.
And the Bills would have 13.
Right.
They would be the 5 seed in that scenario.
The Bills.
If the Bills win out and the
they'll
Texans
be the 5,
win out.
and the Texans are the 6, probably.
And that means the Chargers are the 7.
Unless what I'm finding, sorry to do this live, I should have done this earlier. What I want to do instead of that is find out, can they catch Jacksonville? And how do they catch Jacksonville?
Talking about Houston.
Houston, right. Can it get to a spot where if the Bills are the wild card, Houston jumps all the way up to where now I've got it, so I've got to go to Houston? And the answer to that question is, I believe, no. I'm looking right now. I've done my clicking, and Jacksonville, I think, has to lose 2 games.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
They would have to lose to Denver this week, which they could lose to Denver.
Could happen.
And then they would have to lose to either Indy or Tennessee.
So if you want the 5 seed, what you need to happen is have the Texans next week beat the Chargers, or have the Cowboys beat the Chargers this week on Sunday, which I think could happen.
For what? Why?
Because if the Chargers get one more loss and the Bills win out, they'll have the 5 seed.
The Chargers are ahead of the Bills.
Yes.
You need the Chargers to lose one more
game and the Bills to win out.
Okay.
Or for them to lose 2 games, which they could. The thing is, the Chargers play the Broncos in the last week of the year, and there's a good chance the Broncos won't be playing for anything.
That's right. The Chargers are going to lose to Houston, though.
I think so.
Because Justin Herbert
is going to die.
He will.
Like, if Justin Herbert makes it through that game, people are going to ask the question, like, is he immortal? First of all, he comes back after surgery on his hand and is stiff-arming people.
It's going to be so bad.
And if he lives through Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter,
imagine that's the talk during in LA this week. Like, Justin, thoughts on survivability of this game?
Like, what are your chances of living?
Have you talked to loved ones? I mean, like,
have you asked your girlfriend to not watch the game this week?
You thought the Bills put Allen in a bad spot. They don't have tackles.
Yeah.
In LA.
Bobby Hart is one of their tackles.
Former Bill?
Yes. Is one of their tackles. Bobby Hart in the Lord's year 2025.
Scott in Rochester. Hey, Scott, what's up?
Hey, guys. I know we're 4 to 5 days out from that last game, but I still find it an absolute travesty that Keon Coleman got a jersey over Gabe Davis. And if we get into the playoffs and that happens, that's going to be a massive mistake by this coaching staff. Now, I don't think it will happen, but it already happened once. And I know a lot of people were not happy about it, but just knowing Gabe Davis's relationship with Josh, I mean, he made some big catches in playoff games. You think about that Indianapolis game?
Yep.
2 or 3 years ago, huge catch. The 13-second game, he went off. Like, he's got it. And if this happens again, I'm going to lose my mind because there's no way Keon Coleman, who, the whole public thing with him this year, he cannot get a jersey over Gabe Davis moving forward.
Thanks, Scott. I will just continue to be surprised by it. That's the number one thing I'll have. Like, I was so surprised that this happened this last week.
I was very surprised.
So if it happens again, I guess I should not be surprised. Every time it happens, we should think, like, I guess that's the norm. Maybe it's matchup based. Maybe Gabe was sick. I don't know. It's very odd. The whole thing is very odd.
I wonder, like, he is one of your top 4 receivers, Gabe Davis, right now. Like, if you were to list it out, you would put Khalil Shakir number 3 because he's a number 3. He's your slot receiver. So Josh Palmer, is that your 1? Or is Brandon Cooks your 1? The look on your face. Yeah, you're doing Alt Joe right there.
I'm doing the Idris Elba eating hot wings.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. That was just it was like I just got hit with a bucket of water.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So Brandon Cooks is your number 1, Josh Palmer your number 2, Shakir is your number 3. Your number 4 is Gabe Davis. And your number 5 should probably be Mecole Hardman.
Remember Curtis Samuel?
But there's got to be some politics in this.
Curtis Samuel had a big play in the playoff game last year against
Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's I guess we don't know what the politics are, but I would assume the reason that Keon Coleman's still in the starting lineup is got to be something.
I don't buy that. I really don't. I think one thing, I don't think Sean McDermott's playing any player because Brandon Beane said to.
Sure.
I don't think so. Unless it's... no.
That's hard for me to think of a scenario, too, but I don't really have another good answer.
I mean, McDermott's the one that benches him because he's late and then keeps him out for an additional game because it's a short week.
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying it's wrong. That's hard for me to believe. 803-0550. Tonight, it's Sabres and Flyers. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. Don't be afraid. Ask not what your hockey team can do for you. Ask what you can do. No. Playing the Flyers. It's black and red. It's on national TV.
It's the Flyers.
They got to show that they're awake. They're at home. They're rested. First game back after a West Coast trip is always bad. That's always bad.
Yep.
But it's been like 4 days.
4 days. If they played Sunday.
If they had played on Tuesday would have been a guaranteed take the L.
Oh, yeah, they were.
First game back from West Coast trip.
They were getting 500-600.
I got 4 days. I got a GM change in here and a practice, and I'm on my regular schedule.
Probably a full building.
I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be rowdy in there.
I think it's going to be gnarly in there tonight.
Let's hope. The full building thing, I do think that might be because they've been a little bit liberal with making sure the building is full.
Well,
there's elements of that at work, which is good. I think it's something to support.
They should have the building full.
Well, just win this game.
Correct.
Yeah.
You got to win this game.
Pretty much, yeah.
Operation 10 straight. It's back on.
It's only 7. Well, yeah, you're right. It's 10 straight.
It's 10. They got to win 10 straight.
Last year we had Operation 10 straight. We're, you know what? We are in 7 to go.
We're 33% the way there.
7 to go.
Yeah.
If you win like 8 in a row, the next Operation 10 straight won't even be 10 straight.
It'll be like 4.
Yeah, it'll be like Operation 4 straight.
Yeah.
There you go.
To get back on pace. They got to win this game. Come on. Please.
It's going to probably be pretty testy, I would imagine, too, with
because the Dahlin and Zegras
happened last time.
Yeah.
And like their schedule coming up. Flyers, Islanders, Devils, Senators, Bruins. Islanders is tough.
Islanders and Devils is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Devils can go. Like they are playing as high flying as anybody's played in years, that team right now. Their environment for Markstrom that they're giving him, he's like making 2-on-1 saves like every 20 seconds. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
We'll get you our fantastic 4-way parlay when we return.
I'm going to redeem myself from last week.
I don't know if the tribunal here has decided if you're invited back in.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough one last week. I did want to make a Kyle Pitts, but then I didn't. So.
Oh, in that case.
Yeah.
You were gonna do the right thing.
I was gonna win the bet.
Yeah.
Right.
I just didn't want.
But I wanted better odds.
Owen's lucky that you didn't, because otherwise it would have been his 12th career parlay kill.
You forcing this kill on me is
just
such
saying,
baloney.
if it had been Joe instead of Nate, it might have been your 12th kill.
If ands and buts, who cares?
11 career kills over there.
Yeah.
11 kills.
And you're trying to give me one more than I deserve.
And you'd think like at this point he'd be like, an alt 100+ yards from the quarterback or something.
Right.
You'd think
the way I view these parlays we place as a show, it's camaraderie, it's interest in the game, and there are 2 ways to win. One of the ways we win is we win, and I feel like an Owen parlay kill is a moral victory.
Yes,
because it's a good
3
bit.
of 4 is
it's a kind of a good bit.
If the bag comes out, we win.
Right. We all win.
We get some content. It's good.
Yeah, you're the parlay killer. Like that's a cost I'm willing to pay. All right, we'll get to that. Rams and Seahawks tonight. I'm not betting Stafford under a half yard. I really want to, but the value's just not there. Anyway, we'll get you our parlay and some stuff on tonight's game as well, because tonight starts the fantasy playoffs for a lot of you. And there are some big-time players in this game. Puka has made a fool of himself in the last 3 days. Said some dumb things.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah. And tried to bring a podcast crew into the facility, and Sean McVay was like,
"Yeah,
get out of here."
Right.
What are you doing? Yeah, it's been an odd 72-hour stretch for Puka Nacua.
Very, very strange. Very weird. Regrettable. 803-0550 on WGR. injury report. Let's do that first. The Barnes Firm injury report, brought to you by the Barnes Firm. Injured, call 1-800-8-million. Sal, should we just kind of expect to see Dalton Kincaid on the injury report each and every week at this point? Like, he's going through something. We kind of maybe know that, right? So Kincaid, knee, I'm just going to prepare myself for that every week.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I would say that for sure. I think what gets you a little this week was a little bit more eye-raising, I guess, though, thinking about that is he was not given to us as a name by Sean McDermott before we went to practice yesterday, or at least before they practiced. We didn't watch because it's a walkthrough. Sean McDermott ran through the names yesterday, and he told us that the only two people who wouldn't practice were going to be Jordan Phillips and Matt Prater. Now, they've already been ruled out of the game. We know that. And then he said everybody else, will be out there in some capacity, basically. And that included Christian Benford, which is really good news, obviously, right? We can get to him. Well, then after practice, we get the injury report, and Deion Dawkins with an illness didn't practice, so, that can happen. And then it's Dalton Kincaid with the knee. And because Sean didn't give that name, I think that raises eyebrows. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? But I agree in the big picture, Jeremy, that it's probably just kind of normal that he's going to be on the injury report. I think the question is simply going to be if he's going to practice or be limited on most days as they manage through it.
Ready to take your game day to the next level?
Rams and Seahawks tonight. Thursday Night Football. A fantastic four-way parlay. What if my leg is the Sabres to win? Let's go. Or
what if my leg?
Or my leg is
Sabres puck
my
line?
leg is Flyers to win. Then I call it the must-win, and then you guys are all crossed up. You don't know what to do.
Oh, man.
We don't know what's happening anymore.
Sabres to win. Sabres and Flyers, 7:30. All right, fantastic four-way parlay tonight. Rams and Seahawks. A couple things about these teams and this game. Last time they played, it was not only a rough day for Sam Darnold. It was a tough day for the Rams. Their offense scores a ton, and they did not do much against Seattle. It was at home. They won 21-19. Think of intercepting the other guy 4 times and winning by 2. That's a Steelers script, right? Like and that's what the Seahawks were able to do to the Rams.
That is
so
a Steelers script.
A potential defensive battle. The over-under is 42.5. The Rams are 1.5-point favorites in Seattle. So let us begin.
I'll jump in if that's okay. I'll lead this one off.
Go right for it. Alt receptions, of course.
Yes, alt receptions for JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. In their last matchup, he did have 9. The over-under 6.5. I'm going 8+ here.
8+ catches for JSN. I could use it. I've got him everywhere in fantasy.
Me
and
too.
Dynasty.
Dynasty championship.
I took
today.
him in like every single draft in a year, and I have everywhere I've got him.
That's why you're in some playoffs.
Yes,
That'll happen.
He's very good. All right, I like that. I'll go next. I'm going to follow up. Give me Puka 8.
8+.
His over-under is, I think, 7.5. And they don't have another receiver. Devontae Adams is not going to play. I think they were pretending he was going to play because they want it to seem like he will.
Right.
Last time these two teams played, the Rams did a lot of their 13 personnel. They do that a lot. Now, if they do that now, they can't alternate receivers. Like Puka's going to get 1 million snaps tonight, you would think. Unless like McVay's going to bench him for a series. Get ready
I
for
wouldn't be.
All right.
That could be something.
Yeah.
That could be something.
I'm not talking myself into that.
Okay.
Over 7.5 catches for Puka.
All right.
Is the only receiver they have on the team.
You want to go?
Who else they throwing to?
Let me.
Tutu Atwell?
You go, Nate.
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go, Nate.
I think that's probably best.
Yeah.
That I go.
We need like the scream shower music when Owen goes.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna do the. I'm gonna give us a little some juice here. It's minus money though, so maybe it's not that juice.
Good.
Terrence Ferguson over 20.5 receiving yards.
Going to one of the tight ends?
Yes.
I like it.
And he's their downfield tight end threat, even with a full healthy lineup. So I like 20.5 over for Terrence Ferguson.
Okay.
All right. I was thinking about Puka under yards because of exactly what we just talked about. I think McVay might bench him for a series or a quarter or something because he was being an idiot.
The 1 seed is on the line.
That is what's turning me away from it. So,
and I feel like you probably should not fade anyone here.
No.
In fairness.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No.
not. So I'm gonna take a little off the beaten path here.
Uh-oh.
Oh gosh.
Give me the Sabres on the money line.
Wow.
He does
really
it.
did it.
Break all the jinxes.
He really did it.
We need it. They need it. We need to hit a parlay.
Is this
time?
Is this an attempt to get me to stop from calling this a must-win?
No, it's not.
Okay, just making
I'll
sure.
tell you, that hedge is, I actually appreciate it. Go with what you know. The football parlays have not been working.
No.
They are favorites.
Yeah.
Kind of big favorites.
Yeah. It almost turned me off.
The GM effect. It's the GM effect.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Puka 7.5 plus. Terrence Ferguson 20.5 plus yards. JSN 8 catches or more. And the Sabres on the money line is our fantastic four-way parlay.
Here we go.
10 to win 125. Well, now if the Sabres, if we get busted and it's the Sabres that bust it, we're not going to be mad at you. We're going to be mad at them.
Correct. It's all a smart.
Yes.
It's all a smart play.
We should be mad at them.
We'll be.
Especially because it's a must-win. It's a must-win.
I appreciate you.
Get on board. Get there. Black and red, 7:30 face-off. The stupid Flyers. The new GM's in town. Every player's going to be like, I got to make sure this guy thinks I can play.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably right.
It's true.
Unless they're all playing their way out of town. No, they're not doing that.
No.
It's a new era. I have a ridiculously optimistic thought that I'll say it. Remember when Pagula bought the team? They were not good.
Correct.
And then they won a bunch of games refreshed by ownership and made the playoffs. Is that going to happen? Probably not.
But it could.
But it might. And it starts tonight. It starts tonight. Must win.
Here we go.
It's in the... It was doomed to win. It was doomed to lose as soon as we put it in the parlay. But whatever. That's the parlay.
Wrong.
You're right.
Wrong.
I am actually
It's happening.
surprised you did it.
Going to win. They're going to
You
win.
don't know me well enough.
Clearly not.
The must win and the parlay killer energy are currently canceling themselves
I know.
out. It has
That's
to happen.
right.
It has to happen.
It's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. You guys are
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
You
right.
guys are probably
Too
too
much.
young for that. You
No,
don't
no,
even know
I-
that. Oh, you do know.
No,
crossing
we know that. Yeah, we know that.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
It came out before you were born.
Okay.
It came out longer ago than Barry Sanders winning rushing titles, and you guys couldn't get that
I knew
today.
this was coming back.
Touche.
These guys needed like 30 minutes.
It's
to get,
on
to
Nate.
Get, to get,
He
to get,
was
I
alive.
do agree a little bit of that is on me. Yeah. But like I was coming in with some really good names, in fairness. Like some really good. I thought for sure Jamal Lewis was going to be on that list.
Well, he was not.
2 2,000-yard rushers were not. The last two 2,000. The last two of the last 3 2,000-yard rushers were not on it.
Henry.
If James Cook wins the rushing title, should it be then impossible for Josh Allen to win the MVP?
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Isn't that what that means, though?
What?
Like, isn't that the award everybody got him last year because he had nothing else? Blah, 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 blah. And if Cook wins that
Right.
title,
If you have
that's
the league's leading rusher, I think it's hard to say you could be the MVP.
I think that's tough.
The way that the MVP is awarded. I know you might think they have the league's leading rusher because teams are afraid. This is like when LeBron won the MVP and his coach won the Coach of the Year. I thought, like, you shouldn't be able to get both of those.
Yeah,
you're either doing the best coaching job or you have a guy lifting you the most. But both of those seems. I know it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive, but anyway.
I agree with you.
JT in the YouTube chat. Are you saying James Cook must win the rushing title? Guarantee that he won't?
So I do want to say Derrick Henry in 2023 came in second, and Lamar Jackson won the MVP.
Okay, second.
So in one of the worst statistical seasons of an MVP quarterback ever.
Lamar?
Yes. It's the first quarterback to not have 30 passing touchdowns. But everybody wants to really pretend that stats are the only thing that people pay attention to.
I want you to be careful. How many rushing touchdowns do you have that year?
Don't know.
Check.
2023?
Yeah, you're saying he didn't have 30 passing touchdowns. Are we sure Josh is going to get to 30 passing touchdowns?
I think so.
Are you sure?
I think so.
He needs 5 in 3 games.
I think so.
You know how many he has in the last 3 games? 5.
Is that right?
Yeah. He runs them in too, but I just want to be sure you're not totally dogging not in 30 passing touchdowns because he runs for 1 million of them too. But he might not get to 30. You know how many touchdowns Josh had last year when he won the MVP?
Lamar Jackson had 5 rushing touchdowns in 2020.
Do you know how many rushing touchdowns Josh had last year when he won the MVP?
11?
No, sorry, passing touchdowns.
31?
28.
28?
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. I am simply compelled to when you say, oh, he won the MVP with less than 30 touchdowns. Josh did that last year. And also in 2023, the year you're upset about, Josh had fewer than 30 passing touchdowns too.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not upset about it. I'm just that's just the that's what it is. I mean, he had 24 passing touchdowns. It's the lowest ever by an MVP.
Josh's quarterback rating is currently the second highest of his career.
Yeah, his passer rating.
Yeah.
I also think that's kind of I don't really care about that stat, but
completion percentage is too heavy in it.
Yeah.
Really. It's built into completion percentage.
Yeah.
All right. Extendo Sports coming up. The Northtown Automotive Extra Point Show and, Sabres game night. Jeremy and Joe. Nate's in for Joe here on WGR. But things that need to be fixed. Quarterback development, right? This league has Phillip Rivers playing. What's wrong with quarterback development? Quarterback contract structure. How could the league be paying Tua so much money? And playoff format as well. Playoff format is back.
Sucks. is what it does.
It's back.
It's bad. It's not a good format.
Well, I tell this story sometimes. I have thought that the current playoff format, that they should not seed based on 4 division winners since, I want to say, like, when did they make the change? Was it 1999 when they went to 4, right? When they went to 4 divisions instead of 3 divisions. It used to be the East, West, and Central, and now they went to East, West, North, and South. And when they went to that switch, they got, all right, 4 divisions and 4 home games because of it. The wild card round will run through the division winners that did not get the buys. All right, cool. Let's do that. And Nate, in 2001 or 2000 or somewhere in there, I called in to WFAN. I got on the radio in New York with Tiki Barber and whoever he was doing the show with, and I said they should definitely not have division winners just guaranteed a home game if you don't have a good enough record. So that's how ahead of the curve I was. I'm 26 years on this. What are we going to do about it? They're not going to change it, right? They're not going to change it.
No, likely not.
In this scenario, it's why is Pittsburgh hosting Buffalo? The Bills are way better. In this scenario, it doesn't even have to be the Bills. If the Bills win the division, why is Pittsburgh hosting New England? Why is L.A. going on the road to Pittsburgh? You know, in the NFC, you'll have 3 teams maybe going on the road to face a bad NFC South team. Why is that happening? Why does the NFC West have 3 amazing teams? Whoever finishes in second has to be on the road.
Well, it's like last year, too.
Yeah,
Detroit and Minnesota. I mean,
right. The Vikings,
Minnesota's got a 13-win team,
and they're on the road.
On
the road. Not just for like one game, but like, oh, no, you're going to be on the road the whole time. Whole time. Which I guess it could fall away where you don't.
Tailgate Trivia is back, presented by Total Sports Enterprise.
All right, Jeremy had a run, so I brought in some reinforcements. Who
Hi.
will be on for the next couple
Did
hours.
you? You brought in me.
Yeah, reinforcements.
Oh, I'm not counting myself as reinforcements. I just hang out on
I
the
was-
hill and watch everything go down.
I was doing the same thing. As a matter of fact, I was probably attacking myself.
Yeah.
So
Great
your
choice you
guys,
had here, Nate.
your guys' thoughts on Owen throwing in the
Oh, they
Sabres
doubled- beautiful.
flag at the
It's
parlay?
beautiful.
First of all, they doubled up.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Like Owen putting it in the parlay was one thing, but then Jeremy also calling it a must-win. I'm putting the house on the Flyers now tonight.
It's going to be a Greek tragedy out there. It really is.
I'm either homeless or I will not be coming into work.
It's a tough vibe.
Everything will
honestly.
go right, and they will lose in overtime because of you guys.
Oh wow!
Because of not me.
No, not you. Not
I
you.
will, I will have nothing to do with it.
You let it happen.
I will have, I will have had nothing to do with
not
it.
me. Stoking the fire. Yeah.
Nope, you let it happen too.
Why we
Joe
talking?
went.
Yeah, I took JSN 8+.
Yeah.
What are you talking about here?
You let it happen.
Yeah, when Owen said he was considering the under on Puka, I was like, no, we shouldn't let him do
No
that.
way.
We should
No
not.
way.
We should not let him do
It
that.
was only vibes based too. I mean, it's
Yeah, I
just,
know. And I'm going to say, like, for a vibes calculator, yours might be slightly off.
yeah, I'm out of whack. I
Yeah,
can't
your
calibrate.
vibes calculator is not synced.
You guys don't fully understand the scope of what me and Jeremy just did by
No,
both
that's-
calling it a must-win and me
Betting on
picking it in the parlay.
Yeah.
If they lose, our energy is canceled out. We both did it. 2 negatives make a positive. Whatever.
Nope.
Wait,
no, I don't think that's
no,
right.
that's not
I don't
how
care.
No,
That's not how that works.
I don't care.
What it will have confirmed is that
If they
your
win,
ability
it cancels out.
Your ability
No.
to read
Yes.
vibes is,
In the
some
tank,
of the worst
man.
of all time.
No, no,
Hey,
so ready? That's where it is. If they win, your negative vibes from the parlay killer and Jeremy's, that's the 2 negatives multiplying make a positive.
Yeah, you can't.
That's where that is. If they win, you've canceled each other
Yeah,
out.
because 0 times 0 is still 0.
If they win, it's just all dead. Everybody, all the curses are dead.
Yes.
That's the point.
If
And if
they
they lose, then it doesn't matter. Like, what changed?
They just continue going in their
changed?
energy streams, and
That's
that's it.
all. That's what I'm. Let me get there.
All right. Yeah. No. I respect. So ready. You did it first, so I guess that allows you a little bit more of the.
Stop cutting. Stop giving him
No,
slack.
no.
Yeah. Stop.
This would be what 12
No, that's-
solo
that's-
kills.
But that's Owen. No, ready?
Yeah.
Solo kills. There are no he doesn't have as many solo kills, right? He's just had
No,
like
it's
a lot of.
it's like 10 solo kills.
Okay, yeah, that's still bad. But
Yeah, that's awful.
but at the
That's
same
really
time,
bad.
I do think actually not either. I'm betting on Philadelphia now tonight because of both of you.
I think that's
loser move.
that is the vibe.
That's a
move.
loser.
That's
move.
the vibe move.
No, I have to agree with
hedging.
Owen here. That's a loser move.
That is
Loser move.
emotional hedging
That's-
because they both did it.
That's some
They both
baloney.
did it.
What are you guys? What are you guys planning on talking about today in your?
Apparently talking about a future loss.
Might be future loss. Tua getting benched for Quinn Ewers, hook 'em horns. It didn't like Quinn when he played Texas, so this is going to be a weird
This ought to be
watch
good.
on Sunday.
Probably this hurts for the Bills a little, right? I mean,
Yeah.
not having Tua. I mean, was Tua really giving them much of a chance to win? Anyways?
Well, that's the thing is,
Probably better than Quinn Ewers.
that's the thing is, I think you're getting even less with Ewers. Like he has a stronger arm.
But they will run the football more.
They probably will run the football more. He's
But
not
Milton Williams
an
is probably
athlete.
back.
I mean, that was
Yeah.
really his big issue. Zach
His
Wilson's the
statue.
backup too.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Zach
Bills,
Wilson not
Browns.
happy, by the way, that he was.
Well, don't wear number 0.
Really?
Talk about vibes being off. Don't wear number 0 as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Your coach can't trust you then.
And
Can't do it.
In fairness, he stinks.
He's awful. He's
So,
awful.
Yeah,
I remember
guess
when I
he
used to
can't
believe
be.
in him. Yeah.
He can't be that surprised that he was.
No. So, it'll be a little bit of that. We've got Bills, Browns, of course,
Yeah.
the injury report. Dalton Kincaid, knee injury, although it was a walkthrough yesterday, so maybe nothing
Feels
crazy.
like he'll be just on the injury report for the rest of the year.
That's probably right. And then, of course, I got some little college football stuff coming up for this weekend, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Is there college football this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't know because I don't care.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's because
Wow.
he's it's because he's Notre
Wow.
Dame. He's opted out
I won't
of
be
watching
watching.
college football.
No, I won't be watching any of the college football playoff this
See,
year.
that's loser.
What about the FCS?
I might. Yeah, I might.
There
watch
we
the
go,
FCS.
baby. Now you're in.
All right, that's it for us. The Northtown Automotive Extra Point Show coming up next here on WGR.